Call the meeting to order. We can start with Jamie.
Clean the gutters at the park. Pool's shut down for good now, it's for the winter. The snow gates and the weights are all up and set. Library's moved. Cleaned out all the bathrooms and blew the lines out at the park. The park and softball field are shut down for the winter. Got the air compressor out and got it running to do that. Swept leaves a few times, and as you can see, I'll be doing that for a few days again. The rest of them trees that were damaged from that windstorm are down. Picnic tables are put away, moved some dirt to make it easier for snow storage over there. Got them intersections here ground. These two here I think are really nice. That one isn't as nice as we thought, but it is better. So I don't know if we could maybe try to get them to come back sometime. It was just didn't cost nothing, but it was just his personal time. And then, so, but I don't know if he'd be interested in doing that again or not. I don't know. I never asked him either. Flushed the sewer main out by Spawns. Thought maybe it was plugged a little bit, but it's not. I think what happened when we measured it, there's no slope to it. It's the same height, so we're thinking there might be a little bowl in it. It's just restricting the water. But so that's about all we can tell on that. Fire extinguishers all got tested and they're good. Replaced the brushes on the skid loader sweeper. Water and wastewater reports are sent away. The overhead doors installed at the shop now. Scraped out at the dump. That picnic table, we bolted that down. That's, I don't know if you like that, where that's at, or.
To be honest, Jamie, I haven't rode by it yet.
Then it's perfect.
Then it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. I trust you.
Yeah, the park showers, redid the showers in there, replaced a bunch of parts in there, so they weren't working very good. And then, greased the street sweeper again and cleaned out all the water lines in it. That's about it.
I don't have my own notebook because I literally drove up.
And here's that paper I was supposed to give to you Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I do know them curves here.
Mhm.
Yeah, they got it out there, but I don't have anything back yet. I'll
Okay,
get them to you you want to give them to you or text you all of them, or
doesn't matter.
Good.
If you get it to me, I'll get it to them.
that's fine.
That's the estimate for the repairs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think what grinding that down definitely helped.
Oh, it helped a
I
lot.
drove over myself just to see. And
Yeah. Where we weren't very good is this, we kind of eyeballed it, that part, and we thought it looked pretty good, but it is a little rough yet, but it's definitely better than it was.
I guess I would advise if we can, or if it would work, maybe try and do this one more time.
This one here,
You know, if it works with whoever.
I'd have to call them back again and say,
See if it works, but I think one more grind.
yeah, so it'd been a couple
That'd
months.
be all right.
It was most of the summer, and he just I talked to him about it, and then he just called me up, said they're switching it. So I can give him a holler again.
Yeah.
See if he'd be interested in doing it. It didn't take long. I think hours was done.
Yeah.
At the most.
Definitely helped though.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything else for Jamie?
Feel like you're ready for winter?
As good as. Now we got the battery charge on the truck.
You got your people lined up?
Yeah. Yep. No, we should be ready to go pretty good yet.
Feeling good in the shop?
What's that?
You feeling good in the shop?
Yeah, we really haven't moved too terrible much yet, but that'll come.
The only thing I added that is different from typical is the discretionary budget. So I had a conversation with Rick, was it you?
Mhm.
I don't know if any of you guys remember from before, whenever, in the last 10 years, but we've had conversations about letting the maintenance person have a set limit to be able to make decisions with, to procure things, to fix things quickly, so he doesn't need to consult. He just knows if it's up to this amount, then I can get it because I need it and it's appropriate, and it doesn't need to go through people and groups. We've done it in the past. I just wanted to throw it out there so that there isn't a lag time. A lot of cities do that, allow their person, like, hey, if it's under $1,500, it's fine. Within reason, right? I'm just throwing it out there for you guys' consideration.
$1,500 cover most things. I mean, if it's something else that's more than that, it goes to that committee, right? A
Mhm.
couple of members, that's basically a yay or nay based on
Mhm.
what's the limit there? Is there a specific limit that the committee can do? Or
We-
is that, like, say, streets repair has something,
Mhm.
that, does every street repair have to come through the full council, or can the streets, if something pops up, it costs $4,000, can the committee approve that or not?
So it should, just because you're appointed to that person, the designated board or whatever, Parks and Rec,
Yeah,
streets and
board,
whatever, yeah, doesn't mean that you should make a decision. He's just consulting with you, and then if it is a item that needs to be purchased or something, et cetera, then it should be coming forward, but our threshold for votes is pretty high. We vote on everything
Mhm.
because it's good practice.
Right.
But the number is much higher than what we're typically doing. So,
I was just curious about that.
Yeah.
That's where this all came from, is the discretionary budget, is how
mhm,
that exactly works. So,
just throwing it out there. You guys don't have to make a decision today, but that's why I put it on the agenda, was to think about.
So there's already things that, I mean, blow a hose on something, go get a hose, you know?
Typical maintenance stuff is just handled anyway.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
You're just talking about something just a little bit above and beyond.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's where you're getting at.
Mhm. Yep. It's not a credit card. It's not for Jamie just to go do stuff. But, yeah, to be able to do it.
Mhm.
So, think about it. It doesn't have to be decided today. I'll leave it on for next meeting. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, I don't think it'd be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, yeah, there's times I've had to call or text or called. Well, the other day, at the park deal,
Mhm.
so, no, it can't hurt.
So you want to know my rationale for it? You've been around long enough. You know what you're doing. Right? Yeah.
Shake your
So,
head, yes.
Yep. So I feel like it's fair to trust you to be able to say, like, I need to get this. This is something that would be appropriate to use city funds for, to purchase. It's within reason, right? He's an adult, he's a professional, he can do that. He doesn't need us to, yes, you can spend $200, Jamie. That's where I'm coming from, so
Okay, yeah.
that's why I brought it forward.
I'm laughing at something on the side here that just, never mind.
So, food for thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. Anything else you guys have? Awesome, thanks, Jamie.
Yep. I'll see it.
Before Jimmy goes,
Yeah.
I just want to say, first of all, thank you for helping out the library.
Yeah.
Setting up, getting pallets, pallet jacks, lining up people, trailers, everything. I just want to say personally, thank you for making that move smooth.
No, that's you.
No,
There.
it worked together and it worked good, so.
But you did the work, I didn't.
No, it takes
Take
everybody.
take the compliment.
I just jumped when you said jump. That's all.
Thanks, Jamie.
Jamie.
I'm gonna hop to Laura. I'm gonna let you do your update since we just finished talking about the library.
Yep, I'm just gonna hop on top of that. Great number of volunteers came out and helped us get moved really, really fast. Particularly Jamie and you, Jordan, and your dad did an incredible job. And so we are able to open on Wednesday. And we'll have an open house on Thursday, the 20th, from 3:30 to 5:30. You're all welcome to come. We're gonna have savory. I'm so sick of cookies. So I'm not gonna have cookies, but please come out, check out the new space. It's well lit. It's a great space. So, thank you, everybody.
Yay, awesome, thanks, Laura. Did you have anything you wanted to go over before I jump to Kenny, or are you just here to hang out?
I'm just here about the sheriff.
Oh, just to hear that part of the, okay, awesome. Kenny, you wanna go?
Yeah, sure. Community club. You guys, I'm sure are well aware that we got approved for that grant for the shelter house.
Mhm.
So the community club, before, we have one more meeting left, but we committed your guys 25,000 for the community center. We're gonna give 10,000 this year. On top of the 15,000 we put towards the shelter house. Then next year we'll reevaluate where we're at with everything. You guys should have those checks by the end of the year, next month or whatever, so before we close out. Next thing with the shelter house. Am I done?
With the shelter house?
Yeah.
Doing all the things you have to do?
Yeah.
I don't know, do we have what we need?
What do you mean, are you done?
Well, I'm part of the community club, not the city, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a city building, right? You guys, we have the funds,
Mhm.
you came up with the plans, I'm just asking, do I have to have my phone on anymore for that project?
You don't want me to call you anymore about it?
I think it's gonna be a great project.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's my business or the community club's business to step in any further, so I guess I just wanted to know that the project was gonna start, someone's
Yeah.
gonna take it over, we'll have it.
I don't need anything from you. Do you need anything from him?
How you
That's
guys
my
are gonna
question.
handle, because you guys will handle whoever does
The
it. bids
bidding and all the things?
Stuff,
Yeah,
so-
we've got Parks and Rec who just put up a shelter house, so they're very skilled.
So,
Yeah, not personally.
Yeah, I'll make sure that Shannon and Rick.
I mean, if you have questions, whatever, but,
Yeah.
Brad Wiersma's the only person I went through. So he gave us the plans and stuff, so hopefully you guys give him the opportunity to put it up too, so. But I don't know how that all works for you guys, so.
Rick and Shannon will take it from you. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, you know how it works, you were on the council.
I didn't hear a word you said. That's probably good.
That's good.
Awesome.
That's all I had, so your checks, yeah, we should be giving you off that stuff. And,
We're gonna ask about
what?
fireworks?
Oh, we also donated 5,000. We've committed that. We've never changed that, but they voted on that, the 5,000 to fireworks too for next year.
Okay.
Sound good?
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you. And we got 2500.
We did.
I believe we did.
I think that was a question. I don't think I won't voted that yet.
I don't remember voting on it.
I thought that was a question.
I thought we were-
Consideration.
I thought we were talking about it at council.
Well, we already went through one, 4th of July, and we contributed to it.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2,500, we bumped it up.
I don't remember. I don't remember. But I remember you asking about it and us saying we were gonna talk about it at the council. That's what I thought. Which we can talk about it. But, do you have anything? Are you here just to hang out with us?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here hanging out.
You are, okay.
About the sheriff.
Oh, the sheriff, okay.
I don't know if you want to jump into that.
The sheriff stuff, sure, because we have just a little bit before our interviews. So,
Is he not coming?
who?
Brian?
Brian's not coming. Mm-mm. At least not that I know of. So we can go to new business item 6. The letter from Sheriff Hilt that I forwarded to you guys last week, or the week before, whenever I got it. And the justification for the increase, or for the request.
We should probably read the letter out loud, right?
By all means, go for it.
You want to pass this to him?
To who?
He's in the
Oh.
supervisors.
You seen that yet?
Can I have one?
Thank you.
Maybe you should have it.
You have an extra one, Carol?
I do not, Carol. You want to read? Or
You want me to read?
I don't care.
Okay. I'll
You have
read.
a better voice than I do. Be here.
I have a little bit of a cold too, so.
Oh, you want me to? I don't have a cold.
I can do it. I'll do the rest of the time.
You started the cold.
I'm
Yeah,
Got
I
it
think
now.
Rebecca, do that one.
Yes, I got one from Carol.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is the letter from Lyon County Sheriff's Office. Says, "Dear Mayor, I hope this finds you all well. This is communication that I have not been looking forward to having, but is a communication that I believe ought to happen. So I'm being proactive to provide as much time to work together as possible. Presently in Lyon County, our office contracts with each town to provide law enforcement services. Deputies' wages and benefits are paid via the Rural Services Basic Fund, and the amount each town pays for contracted law enforcement goes into the Rural Services Basic Fund. The current year's cost for our deputies is budgeted at $1,436,183. This service is provided equally to every resident of the county, as there are no police departments. The 2020 census showed a population in Lyon County of 11,934. This results in a per capita cost of $120.34 per person. The issue that arises is that all the towns besides Rock Rapids pay $27 per person for this service. Using the 2020 census numbers, Rock Rapids pays $102.46 per person. If you remove the amount the towns pay from the total budgeted amount from the Rural Services Basic Fund, you find the following. 1,436,183 minus $267,520, that's Rock Rapids, $5,562 for Elmwood, $16,713 for Dune, $29,079 for George, $25,056 for Inwood, $25,002 for Larchwood, $7,992 for Lester, $11,853 for Little Rock, equals $1,047,406. This means that the remaining $1,047,406 is being paid entirely by rural taxpayers who pay property taxes into the Rural Services Basic Fund via the rural levy. The population of these residents, according to the 2020 census, was 4,832. This means the per capita cost for these residents is presently $216.76 per person. That means we presently have rural residents paying $216.76 per person, Rock Rapids paying $102.46 per person, and every other resident paying $27 per person. There is a difference in the contract with Rock Rapids in that it requires 80 hours of time per week in Rock Rapids. However, if we allocated patrol and investigative time approximately On a per capita basis, this would result in Rock Rapids receiving nearly the same hours. For information purposes, when I look at the time spent between calls and patrol in each town, it averages out to align to be pretty close to a per capita split also. This historical practice appears to be that every 2 years, the price for all but Rock Rapids is raised by 50 cents per person. That means from 2013 to 2026, the percentage increase has been 12.5% for all the towns besides Rock Rapids. Meanwhile, during the same time period, wages for deputies have increased 53.28%. The summary for all of this, the summary of this all is this. All residents of Lyon County receive the same law enforcement services, but the costs for that service vary a lot from rural to Rock Rapids to every other town. I researched some of other 280E agreements for such services in other counties, and it seems that they generally align with the principle of each town paying the cost for the services received. Hull, for example, pays $308,650 with a population of 2,384, resulting in a per capita cost of $129.47 per person. I'm trying to be objective here and not political. Politically, bringing this up frightens me a bit because of the rumors that could fly about a new sheriff and taxes, etc. However, the numbers are objective numbers, and I think a plan needs to be developed collaboratively going forward. If costs were allocated evenly per capita, it would be $120.34 per person. That is, however, nearly a 4.5 times increase for every town besides Rock Rapids, which would likely be much too high of an increase to be manageable budget-wise at one time for towns. So I'd like to hear from each of you after you've had the time to digest and discuss the above information. Can you please take time to do so? After doing so, we can communicate regarding the best path forward for all involved. Sincerely, Sheriff Brian Hill.
Okay, that's ridiculous, as far as I'm concerned.
If the deputies are getting 53% increases over the past however many years, that's part of the problem right there.
Number one is if you're gonna go to 120 per capita, why don't you just hire your own sheriff? And have your own town cop, done with it. I mean, you can't do that, that's just dumb. To me, I don't,
Means that they generate money for the state more than they probably protect. It's, state should be paying some of it then.
because I've been getting phone calls ever since you probably got the letter.
We have to,
But,
we have to.
yeah, well, it's just nuts, it's ridiculous, you can't do that. You can probably raise it some, but not that. And Rock Rapids,
Well, they've got, Rock Rapids has their own contract and they're paying them more to be in Rock Rapids.
Right.
Or that's up to
so
them.
you really can't compare Rock Rapids to us.
Well, that's always been the mentality in the past, is that Rock Rapids gets a lot more coverage than we do.
And
They're
also,
needed.
they're paying for it.
Yeah.
And they're paying,
Yeah.
I mean, Stu always said, Inwood is one of the most, one out of the, more communities in Lyon County that doesn't need the resources and stuff that, well, I'd say it's Rock Rapids, George, and Little Rock, and some of them other ones like that. Like, I'm not sure it's saying we're a little safer, safer community, but their needs are met more on the east side of the county than they are on the west side, by far. We appreciate their service and everything they do for us, yes, but
And I know, like, anytime they get requested, it takes them 2-3 hours before they'll even show up to do anything. So I don't know why the point of even having them around.
Yeah, I think that kind of depends, where they're at and, I mean, they take rotations and shifts, so I mean, we're not having 15 of them out there every, 12 hours. I don't think it's broken down. But I mean, I hear your concern. I do. It's, yeah, he's asking a lot.
As far as that deputy's wages increasing that's over 13 years that it's increased that much, right? So that's really only 4% per year, but why are they just asking for it now? Do we increase every year on any of this at all?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah, our contract goes
And
up.
that's where it said, basically every 2 years it's about 50 cents on our end per
Oh, yeah.
person per capita.
So with the capita increase, so keep more people moving in, that helps with the cost go up too. They're getting more per person that's here.
Yeah, we're paying
Compared
more
to-
it is.
Yeah.
Are we on a 2-year deal right now? Is this a year?
They usually come back every 2 years and ask for a little bit more. So I'm sure that this is probably why this is happening.
So what has the increases been like, say, 10 years and then 2 years, 2 years, 2 years? Where do you increase usually,
So they go by the census, so the population changes just every
Okay.
10 years. But when they come with the contract, there's a 50-cent increase per capita over a 2-year period. 2 years and then 50 cents again 2 years later.
So it's 25 cents a person a year. It's basically what it comes out to.
The sheriff before, he was happy with it. That's what he proposed and they made it work.
We run into this a little bit. I wish, I probably should shut up. No, but I really wish he would have campaigned on that. I'm gonna walk in the sheriff's office and raise all your per capita stuff. I wish he'd have campaigned on that. It's just all the stuff that's coming up now.
Yeah, he's
And we have to deal with a lot of.
campaign on.
Well, I know, because he ain't gonna get elected, but yeah, it's just, we sit up there and do this shit every week, have to deal with this crap. Then when I heard this deal come out, I'm like, oh, here we go with this now. It's ridiculous.
I don't want to cut off our discussion, but we have 2 interviews that were supposed to start 3 minutes ago, one and then another one. So I want to pull them in to give them a lot of time to have their interviews with us, and then we can jump back into this, so you guys can percolate a little bit on it and see if anything else comes to light now that you've kind of heard the letter from Sheriff Felton and stuff. But Eric, do you want to have Vance come in and then I can, sorry to switch gears kind of mid-convo, but I don't want to.
You gotta keep flowing.
Yeah. This is a good meeting to be at. This is I don't know if you knew, but this is one of the construction manager at-risk companies that we chose 2 to come in and interview, and we'll choose one of these to be kind of the leader of the rebuilding project. So, yeah, so this is gonna be a good meeting to see.
I like that they're on YouTube. I usually listen to them at work the next day, so.
You see my epic failure then when it shuts off halfway, like 17 minutes in every time? That's me.
On that note, when others are speaking, would you like me to kind of point this towards, because I kind of got the
4?
so 4 people,
Oh, okay,
so.
sounds good.
Um,
Want to grab some more chairs?
they are gonna bring their own
Okay,
chairs,
okay.
so. I don't know if we will, yes, maybe that might be best. Sorry about that.
Eric,
Yes.
Laurel is newly elected. Did you know that?
Congratulations.
Yeah, she'll be joining us in January. And then Travis is our new deputy clerk. He started today.
Congratulations. Thank you.
I know. Welcome, everyone.
I think if I could just maybe scoot over here.
Why not? Not at all.
Oh, we can swear you in.
Hi.
All right, why don't we just set up right here?
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Oh, there's a camera.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm Becca. I'm the mayor. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for coming today. So you know Eric, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yes, yep.
He's our architect for the community center project. And he's been guiding us through this process that we're all very unfamiliar with and learning as we go. But he recommended, after we all read your guys' beautiful portfolios and determined who our kind of top ones were, he recommended pulling in our top 2 for interviews. And so this is today. I don't have any interview questions. I would just love to hear from you guys about the project and do what you would do.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get started. My name is Brian Jans, owner and president of Jans Corporation, so appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for inviting us to come talk and share a little bit about us and kind of our history and what we can provide for the construction project that you guys have in front of you. To start with, doing some introductions. Like I mentioned, my name is Brian. I'm the project executive, so you'd see me more on the front end, involved in more of the design conversations as those get wrapped up, some constructability concerns, just kind of industry information that I can lend a hand for. And then today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Jans Corp history, kind of how we've started out as a company 40 some years ago and have been a family business ever since. Done some work in this area. And tell you all the exciting, wonderful things that Jans Corporation's done, but the best one that it's done was hired a Dutchman from Inwood, Arlen. So he'll be the project manager. Want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Arlen Van Horst, obviously. I grew up here till I was in 5th grade, I guess. Some of you probably know a lot of my relatives, but do you want me to go right into the?
We'll just do introductions first. Okay. Yep. Then Nate Esser is on the end. He's our estimator, so he'll be heavily involved on the estimating side of things, pulling numbers together, got to get into that guaranteed maximum price, and then getting subcontractors involved. So we'll let him talk a little bit about that portion. And then Travis Enner is our director of field operations. We do have a superintendent, Rob, who we picked for this project. However, he's heavily involved in our project right now. We didn't want to pull him out from that, just like we wouldn't do to you guys when he's on this job site too. So just a quick history of Jans Corporation. If you saw our proposal, you know we've been around for over 40 years. We're primarily a construction management design build firm. That's really where we feel our strength is. We look at all of our projects more of a team approach. We're not just a low bid general contractor. We have a relationship with not only the people we work with, but the people that we bring on the site too, subcontractors, suppliers. We feel that's just important to have a full team approach on the project. If you look in our history, you see obviously we've done some things in this area with people like Hope Haven and Rock Valley. And, we've done some work in Rock Rapids and in the surrounding area. Obviously, we're based out of Sioux Falls, but we actually go across the entire state and the entire region. We work with great groups like Horizon Healthcare. They're a rural healthcare foundation, do a lot of projects throughout the state with them. One of the big things, like I said, about the teamwork side of us is building those great relationships when we get to subcontractors and stuff. And Nate will talk a lot about that just in our process of pre-qualifying subcontractors, trying to utilize as many local resources as we can. We know this is a community event. This is something that's going to be great for the Inwood community, and so we want to involve as many people as we can from this area that are going to not only participate in it, but their family as well too. So yeah, that's a little bit of us. One thing you didn't see in our proposal because of the timing of it was we did do the community center for DeSmet in DeSmet, South Dakota. Very similar project. One of the big key factors there was the precast. You know, you're looking at precast in this facility. We actually, through that project, found a local precast supplier up in that area that was not very well known. And so we vetted them out, took a tour of their facility, and now they're one of the more predominant precast suppliers in the area. And it was somebody that, of the multiple suppliers we would look at in this facility. So that's us in a nutshell. You know, we're very family oriented, very relationship driven. So that I'll turn it over to Arlen. He's gonna tell you all the important stuff about how we do that work as a team.
All right, very well. Again, thanks for the invite here tonight. And I guess I'm gonna explain the email that you had invited us to do is explain the approach in assisting the design team. To be honest with you, the drawings out here are really the first time we've seen drawings. So it was a good time while we were standing out there kind of getting to know things. But basically, if you hired us, the first thing I would want to do is get a set of plans so I can start reviewing and getting to know it. Look for, the constructability, the cost, and then the scheduling. Again, as you mentioned, the precast right now, lead times and everything are going to be out there. So that's, again, one of the things that you're asking for is to get that procured, and we can get that all taken care of really with just getting on the list for right now, and then we can worry about contracts and stuff later. But once we get a little better feeling for the plans and what you're after, we would go ahead and expand the detailed estimate that we've already gotten started with the general conditions. We like to go with detail. We don't necessarily just percentage lump sum things. Like our estimate right now, we've got the equipment, bonds, cleaning, insurance, all the labor and everything. That's pretty obvious, but there's a lot of costs there that nobody wants to pay, but that's what we put in that category as far as general conditions. Once we feel we have our hands around that, then it would be time to give you guys an update. We're, like Brian says, we've got a lot of different customers. There's some that like to be very involved. We just got done with a $41 million high school in T, and they had a school representative that came to the trailer 3 times a day for an update. And then there's the Horizon Healthcare who says, basically, we want this, go do it, and tell us when it's done, send us the bill. So we can work for you in however you want us. And it's involved. I think the plans call for monthly meetings, but there might be times where, I don't want to scare you out, but there might be times that we need to meet weekly for whatever reason. So again, we're very adaptable to all that. But so once we have that plan and everything in place, we would give you an update and tell you whether we're on track financially, or if not, we would have a plan as to how to get things on track. Again, that's from experience, seeing how building materials go together and what's out there and everything else. We can give a lot of help for them. Not that they don't have it, but it's a team. We want to build that team. To do all that, a lot of things are built with schedules, obviously. We want to be schedule detail. And so we would have a schedule for the pre-construction part of it as well as in construction. But there's not always good news in construction or in life, as we all know. But half the battle is just knowing it so we can make adjustments. If this ain't going to be done then, maybe we can get this done. So we would keep that updated, weekly. My team, the superintendent, field person, and myself would update that weekly. Again, we can update you monthly or we can update you weekly along with that. However you want to communicate, that would be great. Okay, now we're to the part where the GMP proposal development is all yours, Nate. All right, back to me.
As we were driving up here, we were talking in the car, just making sure that we were ready. And one of them said, I have my proposal in the back of my mind. I have it. And that's a gift. Mine is written down. As the representing the estimating side of our company, we use ProEst, which is a robust estimating software to store our bids, to tabulate estimates, and to create proposals. And so for most projects, if time allows, we first request a preliminary number from local subcontractors and vendors to share project information and obtain a rough cost valuation. Once this preliminary budget is established, we then solicit competitive bids from the same area subcontractors and vendors. And be assured, all subcontractors and vendors are evaluated and pre-qualified based on their past performance and overall fit with the project's scope and requirements. We then share these proposals that we receive with you, along with our thorough evaluation of them. And from there, we negotiate a detailed guaranteed maximum price proposal. It's important to us that you know that we have worked with almost every subcontractor and vendor in the area, and we have maintained excellent working relationships with them. It's also critically important to us that you feel comfortable with who participates in the bidding process. If you have specific subcontractors or vendors you would like us to include or exclude from the process, we are glad to do so. And so now I get to sit down and kick it over to Travis to talk more about our field experience.
Actually, I got a little bit more. Well, and this is a trick, that clock isn't working. Looking at the other one. But anyway, trying to make this quick, obviously. So that basically wraps up the pre-construction. Now we've got a drawing that has a building on it that you like, you love. We've got costs that we've all agreed on, and we've got a schedule. Now it's time to go to construction. So what we have is a software by the name of CMIC. It's a project management and accounting. It's all in one, which is very handy because finances obviously go hand in hand with things. So after we had, again, that contract in place between all of us, I would start sending out contracts to the subs and the suppliers. What they're also going to have to do is include bonds, perhaps, insurances and taxes. The nice thing about the CMIC software is that it tracks all that. The insurance certificates are going to be good for a year. It'll remind us if those aren't getting renewed, it'll tell us that. So we always have contract compliance in mind there. Again, I get back to our scheduling, again, doing that weekly. Again, it's really going to be important in the construction portion. And now it's time for a pre-construction meeting. So this is where we meet with the new team now. We start building that team because it's really the team, obviously, that helps us build this for you and keep these Inwood residents happy, right? But yeah, that's where we lay out the rules as to, again, where employees can park, where we can have our trailers, that kind of stuff. That's all stuff we'll establish with you ahead of time, but that's when we govern that. Now, we've got our contracts out. Soon after that, we're going to start receiving the submittals. And it's our job to take those from them, review them, send them on to the design team, and then back, and we got to manage that, make sure everything's getting approved and returned. There's going to be some things such as RFIs. I don't know how much of that, it's in a lot of different industries, I guess, but request for information. Again, it's something that questions as they're doing submittals and stuff are going to happen. Again, CMIC is very helpful in keeping track of all of those and where they're at, and so nothing gets lost. RFPs will maybe sometimes result from that, unfortunately, but in your case, good. Change orders may happen. No, we only approve deduct change orders, just so you know. That's not junk either. And then, of course, what makes the world go round is we all like to get paid. So monthly, we'll have those pay requests, and so the subs will bill us, then we'll send the payout to you, and then we'll get them all paid and everything else. Then, again, we kind of wrap that with a monthly, or again, a bi-monthly or weekly. We're going to meet with the foreman weekly. So obviously we don't expect that, but there may be times bi-weekly where we're going to have an agenda in the minutes. We're going to have that virtually. So if some of you can't make it, you want to, Zoom in, you can. But yeah, that's where we'll also review progress and go through those RFIs and keep, take care of the job business and that. We're just about there. So now we call it closeout. The building is done. We do as-bills. Again, it's a record of all the changes that we made to the drawings that weren't documented by them already. You're going to get the copies of the warranties, the O&Ms, operations manuals, tells you how to take care of the floor and how to run the thermostats, things like that. And then training again on how to do all that. So with that, now you have a very satisfied city and a beautiful facility for the next 100 years. Perfect. It's your turn.
Well, guess you took care of most of that. So, yeah, I oversee the construction, so the boots on the ground, the fun stuff, right? So, like Brian said, I'm here to kind of filling in for Rob. Rob is one of our superintendents, lots of experience. He's fairly new to us, but he's been in the industry for about 20 years. So knows what he's doing. The biggest things that we want to keep track of as far as the construction process goes is we want to make sure everybody's safe. We want to make sure that we keep an eye on quality. We want to give you the best product that we can. That means that superintendents need to be paying attention to what's going on, right? Everybody's got to be on the same page. So he's going to make documentation of everything that's going on. During the process, daily, he's required to report to me on what's going on. So we all have that to go on, as well as taking care of meetings with subs, to make sure also that everybody's working together. So also during that process, we want to make sure that we're on budget, right? So keeping an eye on the schedule, and like Arlen said, updating the schedule. We'll do that every week on our end. Now, whether or not you want to see that, completely up to you. But it can be a situation where schedules are going to change daily. So if we need to, be aware of that, pivot, do whatever we can to keep things going in the right direction, that's what we're going to do. So that's part of our software that we use too, is going to keep us all on the same page, knowing what the budget is, what's spent, where we need to pick up some money, time, whatever it is. So everybody knows what's going on, and that's how we get there.
Awesome. Hold on. What project have you worked with Rob on? Have you worked with Rob on a project yet? since he's new?
Yes. So the project that he's on right now, he's actually done 2 for us so far. He's worked on a remodel for, I don't know if you're familiar with Montgomery Furniture.
Oh, yeah.
So used to have Conlin's Furniture right next to them. They purchased that building. We're adding on to it, changing the face of it, basically gutted the whole thing. Building a link to it, to the Montgomery building. And then once that's all done, that'll just be one facility, I guess, that they can use.
Awesome.
So, yeah, pretty complicated. Lots of things that we didn't expect. However, that's just kind of goes with the thing, right? If it's not all brand new construction, if you need to add on to something, if you, are rebuilding something, there's a lot of things that you don't expect, right? So you'll find those, make a plan, fix them, for the most part, experience tells you that things should be there, but not always, right? They might have done something differently in the past, depending on how old it is, Grandpa always used to build things different than we do, so.
One of the things with that project that Rob's working on, obviously it's right on 41st Street in Sioux Falls, very busy road, lots of stuff going on. We feel like this is kind of 41st Street of Inwood, with the pool and everything going by. So Rob's very conscientious of that not only is it safety for our workforce, but safety of the community. There's going to be a lot of people in and around it. It needs to be secure 24/7. And that's a big part of what we'll ensure that happens.
Part of our planning phase 2 is to figure out what we need to do site-wise, access, who can be where at certain times, whoever needs to be there, right? And again, like Brian said, keeping everybody else safe, back far enough, we don't mind you watching, but you can't be inside the site. So, it should be fun.
Mm-hmm. We're very excited about the building, so I'll try not to be nosy in your business, but no promises.
Well, you're gonna want to know what's going on. So.
We'll have plenty of hard hats for everybody.
Yeah.
It is very good looking, by the way.
Thank
That looks great.
you. Thank
Not that
you.
this one didn't look good, but at the same time, yeah.
Mark was on the committee, Laurel's on the committee, Kenny, who was here a second ago, was, Chad is on it, so we've been really involved with Eric and his team. Lots of revisions, he's tolerated us too. Do you guys have any questions or anything?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
CMAR for the state of Iowa, have you been a participant in that process before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because part of the things that were brought up on that pre-qualifications, subcontractors, I mean, that takes time too. And once we get those subs pre-qualified, then it's just those subcontractors that can submit proposals. So if they don't make that qualification list, they can't submit. Also, you mentioned CMIC software. Is that the project management software that you would utilize for shop drawings, things like that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we would, I guess, if when other architects have requests for submittal change or something,
Right.
that's always on the books, or that's always possible. It's just
Okay.
that it's an additional cost where CMIC comes with us.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we've
We're open
used
to how you wish to do it.
Autodesk Cloud, Procore, things like
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
we're flexible too.
Have you been exposed to CMIC at all?
We have not.
We were with Procore first, and CMIC we found was a better solution because it actually ties the financial aspect into it. Because you're not looking at two different systems trying to communicate.
Yeah, no, that's always easier that way,
Yeah.
so I agree. All right. Questions on the removal of this building? It's been some discussion with this group, with the council. You want to share some of your thoughts on the best time to remove this building? Once somebody gets brought on board for pre-construction services, looking at that overall master schedule, and then thinking about how this building is removed, so.
Yeah, I did put a schedule together, basically month by month. And again, we need to consult with some subs on it. But right now, I don't see any reason why we couldn't wait till like around February.
Sure.
February, March, somewhere in there, to take it down and get ready for a spring start.
Okay.
A little of that, I have some questions as far as where drawings are and how soon you'll have them ready. You know, right now, in a perfect world, if we could be bidding sometime in January, it's a climate right now to your advantage. That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
That's the goal.
That's our
Yeah.
goal.
So, yeah, if we could be
His
out there
goal,
for
and I
that.
say yes.
Yes, yes, then that would be perfect. But I think, it's not gonna take that terribly long. I know we've got the foundation all the way down and everything else to take out, but
No, there's part of that pre-qualifications for the subcontractors, and we need to discuss, and I've shared some of this with the building committee here on the precasting side. Because as you know, and I don't know which precaster, was it Collins or?
Collins was
Yeah,
one that we
that's-
used.
Yeah,
From DeSmet.
we got them involved early, a few months back, and they gave us some preliminary estimates on that part of it. So, but we just, for the council's information, precasting beds that cast our wall panels, there's a time that's always associated with that. And right now I've been told maybe July. So, I mean, as soon as we can procure the precasting group, so that's what in the overall schedule, pre-qualifying the precaster and then selecting somebody and then getting that.
Right.
And even just a letter of intent.
right.
From
We can
the,
workshop drawings
we
out.
can, yes.
That way you get a
So-
slot for production, so.
Exactly. So that's critical for that. So,
And we've worked with several other precasters too. We would talk with all of them.
yeah.
Collins is the one that we worked with in DeSmet. And again, I don't know that anybody had ever heard of them at that point. And,
Right.
we started, we loved their quality. They were a great value. Our erectors were very impressed with the product that they brought out. So we started using them on other projects in Sioux Falls. Our own office building is made out of theirs because we same thing. We didn't just give it to them. We went around and asked all the suppliers, hey, what can you meet for cost and schedule? And they were the ones that came through. We feel like we've got a really good relationship with them. Not saying we can get it to move up on their schedule, but
We have a better chance probably of pulling some strings too.
Yeah. As far as we're located here, there's a lot of other precasters that are around Gage out of Sioux Falls and Collins. There's some even in northeast Nebraska.
Correct.
Even
Out of Minnesota.
exactly. Even Enterprise from Omaha. I've been
Yeah.
talking to them
Sure.
for projects. So, but there are options.
Yeah.
So on the pre-construction side, that's really working hand in hand with the group to come to the council with really what our ultimate costs will be and moving forward. So that's pretty critical.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that would be the thought is if you guys have a meeting, we'd want to be a part of that meeting.
absolutely.
Just to be involved and expertise where we can. Absolutely.
All right, that's all my questions.
You sure?
I might have some later. But
Do you
no,
guys have any questions? What about from the public? Do you guys have any questions?
I got one.
Yeah, go check.
Just curious for the people of Inwood here, so you kind of see the project that we're gonna build. I'm talking kind of site securement and for the public and how things are gonna get blocked off and stuff like that. Is there anything that we would have to look at as for you guys to do the work properly? You talk about moving in, I'm sure office containers and stuff like that. Would we have to look at closing the street down? Or do you think is there enough here to work with? Or
Is that a possibility? Because we all know that, again, with the pool there, and I don't know, the new building must go closer to the parking lot, I'm guessing. Or I don't know. if
Not
it's
much, it's
farther.
actually a little bit wider.
It goes
Is it?
closer to the pool and further that way.
Okay,
That's the biggest expansion. It's
Okay, perfect.
South and west.
just driving by there, I was thinking we are gonna get pretty close, so that helps. So if we have that concrete and stuff out there to use, but, I mean, if nobody objected, by all means, it would be great to have the street, but I think we can work without it as well.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking if we need to prepare, the residents of Inwood that during this project, that we may have to, close the street off, so.
It wouldn't be for the duration of the project either. I mean, at some point, there may be a need of time and utilities, that kind of thing that we communicate up front in our progress meetings, let you know, hey, this is what we're planning for 3-4 weeks out. This is how long, and get it as quickly as we can.
I don't have any more questions. Do you guys? Do you guys have any other questions or comments for us?
When can we start?
No, we appreciate the opportunity,
Yes,
really.
thank you so
We're excited to get the invite to come down and meet with you. We have been in the community recently. We've been talking with First Reformed Church and been looking at a project for them. And so, maybe that's something we could look at too, of sharing some services to save on some costs if we can get that to go at the same time. That'd be
The way we bid things right now, we hadn't assumed that, but that could only be a savings from where we're at.
And, we operate on the open book policies. You'll see all the numbers. We try to always, over promise, but, or under promise, over deliver, so to speak. So we're always going to show you worst case scenario. So I know when you opened up the numbers, you saw some of our jump conditions were higher. We're only going to spend what we use, obviously, in the guaranteed maximum price, the GMP side of things. We're going to prepare you for worst case scenario and get it done better rather than the other scenario where we think we get it here, and then, oh, by the way, we're going to need more money. As Arlen said, we only do a deductive change order.
But I think a $10 million budget is great.
Awesome.
Appreciate your donation.
Thank you.
I'll take it with Arnie.
You guys are doing this for free.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like
Nice to meet you.
shares left?
Yeah, you can leave the chairs. Thank you very much.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The nice team is here, we want them to come in.
Not yet. We're gonna, thank you.
I can tell them that.
Yeah, thank you. Do you need any more coffee? You got the one? Okay, I still have more in my purse. Do you need any, Carol?
You might need more than one, Rick.
Do you need one?
Yeah, I was trying to contain it. That's not.
Yeah.
You got a tough bunch up
There, it's rough. Okay.
Glad I'm sitting over here.
Yeah. I do think
I've been around Carol all day, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
When would you like them to come in?
I just wanted to chat with these guys for a second. Did you guys have any comments or thoughts? At all? My only thing that makes me sad is that Rob wasn't here. The guy who would be here like day in and day out.
The superintendent, yeah.
Yeah, that makes me sad. And I understand that he's been in the world for 20 years and all those things, but they don't have a ton of experience with him. That's just my like little gut reaction is like, I want to meet the person that's going to be like boots on the ground every day. And I want you to be able to attest to his performance if he's going to be our man. But I like them.
Well, in a way, that kind of does show that he's committed to that job.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, I'm sure he wanted to be here,
Mhm.
but he knew he had a project at hand, he's in charge of that. So
I get it.
he had to send the other recruits to speak for him.
Mhm.
I don't know, that kind of, in a way stands, I mean, says something right there.
Yeah. And I do like the relationship they have with the Collins precast, that
Mhm.
there's a possibility
I could get
Good.
sooner.
we could get it sooner.
Were you comfortable when he said starting February,
Yeah.
March?
As far as the construction process, the
lease?
site work and just starting to take this thing down, yeah, that's about what we were thinking too. So,
Because in previous meetings, they've talked about February was planned before, so that's still on track.
yeah, the precasters, yeah, there's Gage, there's Ola, Nebraska, there's Collins, Terracon's up by closer to Fargo, or that area, but they would come down, Weld Precast is in Minnesota, Enterprise. So yeah, there's a good group, but it's getting slotted into that schedule. That's the big important thing, so.
So I need to pick a person, company.
Well, and it's part of the pre-qualification though, too.
Yeah.
That the state of Iowa requires cities to do in this process. So we can, as soon as somebody gets on board, I would suggest moving forward and through the pre-qualifications in whatever group you decide, we'll do that. And then it's a couple of weeks and then they submit something and then they submit their proposals. So it's yeah.
Do you
it's a
guys help
process.
them with that like you did?
We-
Okay, you
yes.
still continue to?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we're still part of all of this until the very end. They talked about as-bills.
Yeah.
That's something that we work with all the general contractors
Okay.
on, getting the as-bills of what is actually built at the end of the day.
Okay.
So,
I rely heavily on you.
all right, I'll go bring this guy.
Okay.
Sir?
Oh.
Hi.
You tell us where to sit, I guess.
This is our spot.
I
All right.
didn't
Wherever it
care.
works.
Yes,
Very good.
hi. Hi.
Pick the most available one.
Yes.
Thank you.
We want to slide it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's just enough. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Are you Landon?
I am.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You look a lot younger in the picture.
I'll put that blame on my kids, not on my or my wife, but don't tell her I said that.
All right. Thank you for having us in this evening. We have a handout there, which we'll talk about kind of the slides or the pages in there. You can follow along. If you got any questions at any time, please answer them anytime. We are more informal than formal, so all farm boys, so we take it as you hand it out. So with that, I'll introduce the team members we have here tonight. My name is Paul Mawson. I grew up west of Rock Valley and been with Hogan Construction for 27 years now. And with me tonight is Landon Van Mindorp, project manager, estimator. Grew up over by Hull, married to a local Inwood girl, Jamie's not here tonight, but one of Jamie Van Beek's nieces, one of the Van Beek girls, so. And Landon's been with Hogan Construction for over 6 years. Eric Floyd is project superintendent with us, currently working on the Harris Lake Park School over in Lake Park, the school over there. Eric's been with us for over 24 years. Also Josh Mawson, my son. Josh worked 5 summers for us before high school, all the way through high school, and has been working in the office for about a year now. And Josh is working with Landon on this project and another project that we're working on with Eric, the Transover project. They're teaming up on that. So Josh is working as assistant project manager, assistant estimator on that. And my wife, Rochelle, she's keeps us all in line and is deals with HR, marketing, and tries to keep us on the right path, keep us all doing the things we need to do.
She's the glue.
So maybe if you guys would introduce yourselves a little bit. I know you all have your names there, but just so we get to know you a little bit better.
Mark Timmerman, City Council. I'm starting my 4th term here in the next coming year, so.
Shane Faber, yeah, this is my first term, 2 years through, so.
Time flies.
Time flies.
He's loving it.
Senator Jordan Heiser got it on 2 years now, first term on that.
Hi, Becca Dixler. I had 2 terms, so 8 years on city council and 2 years into being mayor.
Carol Hancock, I'm the city clerk.
Chad Evans, been on the council for 8 years.
Rick Rosenbaum, been on the council for just about 4 years and started my 2nd term.
Okay.
Years, so.
Just through the election cycle, I suppose.
That's Tuesday.
All right, next page in the little booklet, if you want to follow along. We're happy to be here tonight, and we want to thank you for having us in again. We're here tonight to talk about your vision, the project vision. First, it's about your vision to get a new multi-use facility for the city of Inwood. Secondly, about our commitment to collaborate with yourselves and with Eric to bring that vision to reality. And thirdly, talk a little bit about our approach to how to make it happen. Next page, a little bit about Hogadorn Construction. Hogadorn Construction was started back in 1979 by Pete Hogadorn. I'm sure a lot of you guys know Pete. And by Arnie Kelderman. We lost Arnie, I believe it was in 2009. And then in 2012, when Pete was going to retire, myself and Arnie's son, Eric, took over the company. So Eric and I have been in leadership now since 2012. Today, we have about 50 employees, and we have an excellent group of skilled and experienced project managers, superintendents, office staff, mechanics, field staff that help keep us going. We'll run 8 to 10 jobs at a time, and covering generally Northwest Iowa, a little bit into Southwest Minnesota and Southeast South Dakota. Also listed there some of the services we provide a little bit, and then that also some of the self-perform work, which that was in some of the previous information we had also. Next page is be a little familiar for you. You should have seen before anyway, the project staff. That was in the RFQ and we submitted that, but just wanted to touch on one more point there. So this is a very possible team that we would have for this project, but in general, we assign our project managers, our superintendents, based on the type of project we're looking at, the size of the project, what their experience is with the different projects, and then the construction timing of who's available and the best fit for that project. With that, I guess, the resumes and everything for the project managers and myself and stuff, they are in that previous documentation that we had given.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit more about our typical flows and our processes for integrating our team into the project as a whole. And I'll add one side comment to Paul's discussion earlier about selection of staff. And just one note on that, so Eric here, he's one of we're talking about a precast building for your guys' new project here. So I don't know that there's anybody better in the business about putting a precast building together than Eric. He's got many, many years of experience and a lot of interaction in different types of construction, but also at that same token for all the strengths that Eric has across the board, we have that same comfort level with all of our superintendents. They are the driving force.
And you love precast, don't you?
I do love
Loves precast. So yeah, again, a little bit more in depth about our processes then, beginning from pre-construction all the way out to project closeout for wrapping the thing up together. Starting with pre-construction then, our typical flow is the project manager is the direct point of contact for working through the design phase, interacting with you as the owner, understanding your needs and establishing the line of communications that work best for you, but also working with Eric on a day-to-day basis, working through the design, working with him and his consultants to finalize documents, working through any constraints, risks associated with the design, with the scheduling, and putting together that pre-construction understanding of the project as a whole. From there, moving into the construction phase of the project, that's where, and actually I should step back a quick note. While during pre-construction, we also like to invite our project superintendent staff into that design coordination as much as possible. Given the, let's say, 26 years of experience that Eric has in the field, you can't replace 26 years of experience with office time. We bring a lot of value to the table within the office, but that understanding that they're able to interject into the discussion is very critical. So we like to bring that into play and into consideration as much as we can. Moving into construction then, we'll stress the driving force on the project for moving the project along and the main point of contact on site rests solely on our site superintendents. And I'll say, we've heard many times and time again that we have the best site superintendent staff out there. And I firmly believe that as well. At that same time, our project management staff is very involved in the day-to-day work as well. With the superintendents more driving the site and being the on-site representation and ensuring the quality control and processes remain in place, while the project management staff keeping the administrative items moving forward, managing the submittal workflows, processing RFIs, processing financial items, moving through change items, and all the documentation processes along the way. So I'll stress along the way there that, say, for instance, Eric and I are working on the project here. Neither of us are each other's boss. We work together to bring the project together and to ensure success along the way. Teamwork at the end of the day is the best and strongest point that we have to bring to the table. Moving into closeout then, again, working together to bring the project to a close, whether that be identifying and working with Eric and his team of identifying punch list items to ensure the highest quality assurance for you for the turnover process, to processing the necessary documents, whether they be O&M documents, closeouts, all the warranty items, to moving into the warranty stages overall, to ensuring that as you, as the owner, move into your facility and start understanding the building, that you're not just left out stranded to figure it out all by yourself. I want to stress that whether it be 2 weeks after you take ownership of the building or 2 years to 5 years, there's questions or issues, we're there to answer the phone as well. And if forbid that there are issues, and I would love to say there's never an issue with the turnover of a building, but there's always something that has to work itself out. We are there to answer the call and to, if we don't have the right answer, to bring it to one of our team members or our subcontractors to get that answer for you guys. So again, stressing the teamwork dynamic throughout the entirety of the project life cycle to ensure success. Moving into the next page then, we've prepared a preliminary project schedule for your consideration. And really the best thing I can say about this is a way for us to explain our processes overall, whether that be through the solicitation stage as we're in right now for the interview as today of November 10, to moving into the pre-construction phase, whether that be facilitating and working with Eric and consultants on the design meetings, to completing plans, and executing contracts along the way, to identifying the critical path and critical scope items, the most prevalent of that being the precast scope. We've had a lot of conversations and a little bit of history of ourselves. We do a lot of precast and have a lot of quality relationships along the ways. So understanding the scheduling constraints that may come with that, and also identifying, per the Iowa statute of CMAR delivery processes and projects, the pre-qualification processes necessary, whether they be by law, but also our quality assurance and ensuring that we're bringing the best team to the table on that. So the precast procurement is going to be a very critical item for us to address as early as possible and to bring that precaster on board as soon as we can to hit the milestone dates that we want to hit.
I might just add on that, Landon. I have talked to a few of the precasters. I mean, different ones that we've worked with and been in contact with. Like Collins Precast is one, Steinbauer, Ola Precast, Enterprise, Gage Moline out of Sioux Falls, or Moline out of Lino Lakes, Minnesota. In order to, it's going to be the critical item for driving schedule. In order to make it work, we've talked to them about, hey, if you could do the wall panels, we get the double T's at another location, can we make that work? Can that help us to get the schedule the way we need it to be? Or getting just a commitment to the precaster as early as possible. Because I think, item number 9 in there is a RFQ for precasters. I think we do that as a separate process, get those on board as quick as we can. We know the size of the gym. We know the height of the gym. We're looking for double T's on the roof. We can get a very accurate price on that part of the project very soon. Get a letter of intent to those guys and commit to them that we will use you for the precast based on, the price they gave us, which we would have that down to a square foot price. And using their price and their delivery availability schedule, commit to those as soon as we can. One of the precasters, that they're technically committed out till next October already. So there's, we have to work through that process and make that happen as soon as possible in order to get this as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Landon's completion date on here, he's got 11/23. So,
well, I'll say that we have goals for a reason. We want to ensure that we're accurate and realistic with our goals. But Paul touched on one thing we talked about in our office in preparation of this is our connections to the facility here. I remember, and Rick remembers, New Year's Van Beek celebrations in the community center. And I think this community, this facility means a lot to the community for holiday gatherings. Again, I don't want to oversell and underdeliver, but we have goals for a reason though too, and we want to be able to deliver those for you guys as well. So, and a few more notes on this then. For the construction schedule itself, this is to us a very living document. We set this in place to establish our goals and to communicate our methods. But also at the same time, we want to hit these targets, but we know there may need to be some adjustments along the way too. That doesn't mean that I'm saying let everything slip, but as the site superintendents come on board and the progress of the project really comes together, we may see opportunities to change our processes based on current availability of team members and just ways that we can improve it overall. So again, take it as a guideline and very much a living document along the way as well too. And we also stress regular updates to our schedule along the way as well to ensure we're communicating to you, the owner, as much as we possibly can. With that, we'll move to the next page then for discussion on subcontractors and suppliers. Just a few notes on top there of the things that we look for in our team members to use as the framework for selecting and working in what the qualification processes would be strong relationships that we have with many local and extended partners across the region, to high quality project management, safety records, and also high quality workmanship along the way to ensure we're providing a high quality building for you guys at the end of the day. Also playing into that is the history that we have with those team members and their manpower and scheduling availabilities as well. So what that really leads into then, and I'll touch on with the subcontractor procurement, we talked about it briefly earlier, is the Iowa CMAR process for public works per the Iowa statute of 2023. So overall, I don't know everybody's understanding overall of that process and the rules in place with that, but entailing a specific qualification process through an RFQ process to ensure that we are able to communicate together and ensure a high quality team that we can bring to the table. And also stress that we have a lot of history, like I said, with many vendors, and we know what each of their strengths and weaknesses are. So we have a lot of high quality judgment that plays into that, but also understanding the process and legality of it as well to ensure that we are meeting the statutes and the rules and regulations in place. So like Paul and I touched on earlier, one of our critical items then is to work through that RFQ process for the precaster as soon as possible so we can get them on board. But that also plays into the rest of our construction team along the way as well. That's very similar to the RFQ process that we work through to come on board as a potential CMAR as well. And with that then, one of the things that we'd like to bring to the table as much as we can is to work with you to understand what your desires are for this team. I think back to our history with the Dune Community Center. I think we can probably relate that project a lot to what you guys have on your agenda here. You know, small town USA, small town Northwest Iowa, their interest, and I believe that yours are very much going to be the same, is to have as much local participation as possible. Again, this is a small town. I think I would bet that you would like to have as much participation from your community as possible on that. And with that, one of the things that we'd like to bring to the table is ensure that all local participants or anybody that's interested in it understands the processes in place. Like I said, these statutes are new in 2023. Across the board, many people don't have a lot of history with the process. So it's a process of educating and interacting with those team members as much as we can to ensure that they are able to provide bids for the project as a whole when it comes out for bid later on. And we worked on this extensively for the community center and doing it, and it paid dividends to ensure that we were able to bring that team together, at least if not bring them onto the project, at least provide them the opportunity to be involved. We can't promise that, you know, it's still a bidding environment. There is requirements for a low bid process, but we want to ensure that we have the capacity to have them involved as much as we can. And with that, encouraging a thorough review process on our side. Again, we have history with many local people that we are able to provide the recommendations, but also communicating those results with you, the owner, along the way as well. Because again, we are very interested in hearing your perspective and your history and your understanding to ensure that we can work together on this. As far on responsibility then, Hogan Door Construction as the CMAR assumes overall responsibility of the project as the CMAR, but also assuming the role of owner advocacy and quality assurance along the way as well, along with dispute resolution. Then also with bringing subcontractors onto the team, they assume a responsibility for their work, but ultimately at the end of the day, we're here to ensure that their quality meets the expectations that we have, but that you as an owner have along the way as well.
I might just interject, Landon, on the owner advocacy side. Eric had an example on the project he's on right now. The original design of the school had steps coming right out the front door, which the owner didn't want, but there just wasn't a real good way to make it work, eliminating the steps. So Eric did a lot of measurements and calculations so they had the sidewalk handicap access right in front of the school. By moving that off to the side, we could raise that sidewalk right in front of the school, that 5 inches of the curb height. And with that, we could do just a gradual slope, an ADA approved slope, and eliminate the steps that were right in the front door of the school. And the owners were tickled pink with Eric's suggestion and working through it. And how can we make this work? Just kept doing different ideas and things until they come up with one that really worked. So I think that's the thing about owner advocacy. If it's something that the owner wants, we'll do whatever we can to try to make it work. If there's an issue or a challenge that comes up, I mean, we try to bring that to the owner. If we bring it to the owner, we try to bring 2 or 3 options. You know, here's the challenge. Here's what we can do about it. Sometimes it's a low-cost fix or a more expensive fix, or what's the best for the owner. Try to bring that to you and always be out looking for what's the best interest of the owner.
If
It's
I
one of
might-
our goals for the team.
If I might throw a quote in there, there was once an architect, but I'll leave names out, but one of his comments was that one of the best things about Hogan is how much they look out for the owner's best interests at the end of the day. And I think that a lot of that credit lies on our superintendent's shoulders for always being vigilant for the best ways to do things and ways to add value to you at the end of the day. Next page then, through your handout, on project reporting. And what I'd like to touch on this is working together with you to understand what your desires are and understand your processes, your flows, to make sure that we are on the same page and communicating regularly and concisely to your needs throughout the duration of the project. And whether that be most specifically identifying who that point of contact is so we can have regular interaction with them, whether that be in pre-construction and just as importantly throughout construction as well, to identify any risks, concerns overall, and having a central source of truth along the way. That way we can work together through those. One of the powerful tools that we have for project reporting that we like to stress is regular progress meetings during construction along the way as well. Our general flow with that, or our SOP, is a bi-weekly progress meeting. And it gives us the opportunity to bring all parties to the table, especially those with ongoing and upcoming work. Most specifically, we always include our management and supervision staff along with the design team as much as possible to work through any potential questions or issues that we may have, but also encouraging as much owner participation as possible. So if you had any concerns along the way, whether it be a safety or a road blockage or anything that we needed to work through on the site to ensure that we are meeting your needs overall. Another thing that we would offer is in the effort of ensuring your understanding and being informed throughout the process is making ourselves available at your council meetings as needed, on your invitation, of course, to ensure that you guys are informed along the way. And again, I'll stress the importance that we have with establishing the established point of contacts along the way, so that way we can have regular interaction with them. And that is extremely critical for us to identify for duration of the project on site as well.
Is Eric's experience with having, the owner's representative, be that who that's going to be. I don't know if you guys have determined that yet, who's going to be the main contact, but Eric's, I'm just thinking of the schools that he's worked on. I mean, they become good friends, the owner's representative, be it the maintenance guy or whoever it is, and they're just on daily contact through the project. And after the project, they send texts back and forth and share things. But I mean, just their working relationship, getting to know them and what they want is, Eric's done a great job on that on the other projects that he's been on.
We'll go to the next page then. On value engineering and change management, overall stressing that this is a process that lives throughout the entire duration of the project life cycle, whether that be through pre-construction, identifying the overall functionality and effectiveness of materials in place, working with Eric in the design processes to select and provide feedback on materials, whether they be structural, mechanical, architectural, and identifying any issues or risks that we may see along the way. To continuing that on during construction, especially as we work through the submittal and ordering processes of materials, identifying any constraints or any opportunities along the way as well to provide value-added options. Now that may be an opportunity for us to cut costs out of the project while still maintaining the overall value, if we're able to bring other options to the table that meet the overall design intent, to identifying any potential risks that we see along the way, that we feel there's an opportunity for a value add, even if it's a cost add. Now, one example I think of, if we have a lot of sheetrock in the building and we feel it's your best interest to add some guards to the corners. it's a very simple and very easy item to work through. But again, keeping our heads together and identifying the value adds or the opportunities to add value to the project as a whole, while always consistently ensuring that the quality of the product is the central focus of that as well.
Our goal for this project is to provide a facility that'll have a long lifespan, be a durable project, and meet the needs for the city. The next page on there, a little bit about our working relationship with Olson Hobby. We've worked on multiple projects together. This would be the third CMAR project that we're working on together, so we know how each of our, he knows how we gotta work and we know how he works, so working together has worked really good in the past, and we look forward to another one of those with this one. And we listed some of the projects on there that we've done, like Transova Genetics is one we're currently working on with Eric right now, and we're at the GMP establishment phase on that project. So the last page then on there I have is, why choose Hogan Dorn Construction? There's a lot of information there, but in reality, this is more than just another project for Hogan Dorn Construction. Myself, my family, other families, and a lot of our employees have utilized the existing facility here for many years. And I think we had meetings, or we had family gatherings here when Josh was a baby. So there's been a lot of years of having a lot of fun here. And it would be a great privilege for us and an opportunity if you grant that to us to build your new facility, and that hopefully we can, as families again, utilize that new facility for many years to come. We're local, you know us, we know a lot about the area, and we have deep roots to the area. We've got proven performance, we've got some information on there, and we look forward to working on this project with you. With that, we'd entertain any questions you might have.
Everybody looks to me.
Yeah, I do just one that I think I missed a couple points. Eric currently lives in Dune. I think I missed on that. And then also the demolition of the building.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one.
And yeah, if there's a need to have it to a certain date or something like that, but our thoughts are that in March we would need to demolish the building so that we could get going on footings and foundations. And that's all going to hinge on that precast date. The extreme importance of getting that precast on, and then from there we would establish the schedule. And
yeah, and on that note too, on the schedule, we very much value your input and what you as a city see as needs on that as well. This is very preliminary work. As we would come on board as a CMAR, understand what your needs are so we can identify them and work around you. Now, we don't know exactly what your plans are for moving out of the facility or continuing utilization of it, but very much interested in having those conversations to understand your needs as a whole. And that way we can work around that. Teamwork at the end of the day on that regard.
So as far as the schedule, which is very much appreciated, so thank you for putting this together. I saw at the very end, hoping to have everything done by the end of the year. I mean, by pushing it to, I think it was 11, building occupancy, end of basically.
Hopefully by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, by Thanksgiving. Which is great. That was something that we talked about as far as, can we try to do that? So thank you for
the efforts like we
to do that.
tried to touch on, the framework on that is trying to perceive what your value is out of that. Again, I don't want to fill you with promises that we can say right now, but ultimately can't deliver on. There's a lot that needs to go in this. But again, there's having goals to start with is the best framework to begin that with. And as we are able to refine that and put as much detail into that, it's the responsibility for us to keep you guys in the know and to keep you informed. That way we can work together to have the best solutions.
One of the things as the architect and working for the city, working for the client, we all work for the behalf of the city. But it's seeing that, that 3 to 4 week look ahead, that schedule that you have highlighted on here. Every couple of weeks, we come together and we look at what are the next things or what are some potential challenges that you may see. So having that foresight of seeing what's out there is very critical. And I always hand that to the superintendent because, getting calls from the soup on site saying, hey, we don't want this to be a problem. We know that this is going to be about a month out. We need to talk about it now, which is amazing. So, that's definitely one of the superintendents to handle the project manager.
Yeah. Maybe Eric could share a little bit on the project you're on right now. I mean, original completion was scheduled to be late March.
End of March, and I'm hoping mid-January is my goal, but.
So just seeing things and.
That's counting losing a month and a half for, steel submittal's not getting done, so.
So just pushing that, watching that schedule, hey, I think we can make some improvements here. But if we make this change, we also got to make these changes, just knowing that and working through that process, being able to deliver a school, 2 months early is really something the owners like.
As far as project management, Autodesk.
Autodesk Build,
Yep. So,
So-
and that works well.
Yeah. So Autodesk Build, the platform that we typically use for all documentation of the project as a whole, whether that be submittal workflows, for approval of materials, reviewing that on our side, receiving those submittals from subcontractors and suppliers, our side on the project management and superintendent staff, reviewing those, ensuring compliance with the documents and ensuring that they will work as well with the products that are proposed, but also ensuring the highest quality as well along the way. And identifying with that, the lead times associated with them, constraints for deliveries, whatever the risks may be. I mean, there's risks with every different product that you may have. So being on top of those as much as possible. But at the end of the day, documenting those for your use in the future as well. There'll be many
access.
Yes, for the O&Ms, the warranty documents, it's all on the cloud for your use 20 years from today after we turn over the building to you. That's provided in the cloud base, but also we're happy to facilitate physical copies of those as well. Some people like old school versions of it. Some people prefer the cloud. So
During the project, it's not just after, but during the project, like the schedule, the schedule would be on there that you'd be able to access. I mean, whoever wants access, we'd give you a login and password and you could go on there. You could look at the different submittals, but schedules one and meeting minutes and agendas and things like that.
Test reports.
There's something, for you guys to have access to.
Question was brought up earlier, with the space that's already available, the concrete out here, would we have to block off a road for any exorbitant amount of times, or?
We looked at the overall footprint as we saw the early architectural schematics of it, and it really rests squarely right on top of where we're at right now. Overall, the overall space of the site, as long as we constrain that through overall site security with a fencing program in place, I didn't feel that it would be absolutely necessary, but one thing that we may want to identify and work through as early as we can is delivery of precast. It takes up a lot of space. You'll have trucks backed up down the block. And there's a lot of coordination that goes up front into that too. And maybe we're best served working with you as the city to identify for week X, we'd like to work with you if there's an opportunity to shut down the road. We don't necessarily know that 100% sure until we lay out the site. But the critical portion of that is if you were to allow us to go that route and if we felt it was necessary, communicating that with you to establishing the needs. Overall, I wouldn't envision the entirety of the project to need to shut down the street.
One of the advantages of West Church is that you have that parking there. I mean, so maybe potentially there's fencing that goes along and utilize some of that parking that's out there for staging.
Yeah, I mean, we need staging space. We need place for our office trailers. The subcontractors need their office trailers, storage facilities. We need space. Do we need to close the road? We hope not, but I think on maybe the precast deliveries, some signage and some help at that time would be really nice. I mean, it looks like the new building's gonna go just a little bit farther south than what this one does, and maybe a little bit farther west. And with that, I mean, I think that we'll be able to keep the road open, but precast delivery time and erection.
Yeah, we do have utilities coming in off the south main, so there'll be a certain point that we'll have to get into the road to get utilities for.
Okay.
For everything.
Sure.
Okay.
It's worth it.
I live in Sioux Center, so I'm used to roads.
Yeah.
For a long time, we're not gonna do that. No, we don't wanna do that for a long time.
We can do it for
A little bit. Okay.
Any other questions?
I'm good.
Questions for the superintendent? Any? Rochelle,
Brian.
Josh, any of us? Well, thank you very much for having us in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, I think my card is on there. Feel free to give a call at any time. I think Landon's is there too. We're open to answer any other questions you might have in the next few days. And look forward to getting on the team and getting that precast supplier lined up.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
good night.
Thank you, you too.
Discussion? Anything to add, Eric?
You know, only thing I'd like to add is, we have worked with their team, quite a bit, but it's always been by selection by the client, by the owners. So, they've been a great group to work with. We have not had any opportunities to work with Jans, just they haven't been in the area as much as Holy Horn has. But yeah, we've had, I would say every single project with them has been successful. I say successful in the sense that, the owner is very satisfied with the outcome, and so are we on the quality of the project. So.
Experience with both of them, coming in on budget.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
But have they both been able to maintain budget, both been good, or?
Yeah,
I guess Jan's now.
I can't really speak
Yeah.
to Jan's, but with Hodorn on all of the projects that we've had, yeah, they've been within budget. It was actually, Dune was under, and so the city was looking at ways to spend more money. I mean, just in the sense of, it was on the flooring, because we were looking, because we priced that out early and didn't know where things were coming in at, because it was a few years later. And when they hit my number, which was 2 years earlier, it was great to be able to put in the flooring, to do the backstops. I mean, to add some of the extra things in there. So, but no, it was, and having that again, that foresight with the superintendent calling me up and saying, hey, this is where we see this coming up, and in a weekly or 2 bi-weekly meetings, having that at our attention. It's very important, and at your attention too. But from what I see, even from the experience at Jan's, it showed, I mean, very quality, good quality contractors there as well.
What's the next steps then? You just need a decision from us?
I need a decision from your group, and then, we would help put a contract together for the city.
Okay.
And the CMAR, construction manager at risk, which is basically, they're taking on all responsibilities and all the risk for the project. So.
Do you need to think on it? Because
The sooner the better.
I would like to make a vote so that we can move forward. I want the precast letter of intent out as soon as possible.
Where was Jan's out of?
Sioux Falls.
There it was.
I would entertain a motion.
How do you guys feel about it?
In my opinion?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna pick somebody local, they're gonna have way more interest in having it nicer, because they're gonna be here.
My opinion.
They know the people, and, I mean, you get somebody from somewhere else, I don't know, that's just how I feel.
Well, that you also have people from the community that work for them that are gonna take more pride into the building
Yeah.
too. So,
That'd be my deal.
other comments? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Decision made, Eric.
Decision made. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have a meeting next Monday.
Yes, we do. It's in the agenda. It's at 4:00. Laurel is gonna be gone, so can we do teams so she can?
Absolutely.
Team in? Okay, thank you. All right. Hopping back in. Let's wrap up our discussion on the proposal or letter. It's not really a proposal, it's just,
Carol, I have a question. Doing the math between what we pay and the $27 so we pay, that gives us 928 people. Now, is that what we have in the city limits of Indian? That includes no local or outside rural, right? Yes, city limits.
Jim said Bobby too.
so what
Thank you, Mary.
yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Drive safely home.
Yep. Enjoy your night.
What I would like to do, so, police is a huge issue in the state of Iowa, huge. Getting police, keeping police is very, very difficult. It's overwhelmingly difficult. It is a conversation in every single conference. It's very hard. And so what I would like to do is I would like to reach out to my mayor groups from other communities that are similar to how we're situated, who cost share, and see what they're getting, and hear from them. There's no need to reinvent the wheel if somebody's figured this out already. So I think that we start there. Sheriff is not asking for a decision today.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't see.
He put a letter out with, hey, this is what I'm looking at. These are the numbers that I'm seeing. This is where we are. This is not, his last sentence is, talk about it, digest it, discuss it. That's all it is. So I think we heard from you guys how that drastic increase is kind of impossible. And I don't think that your council feels like it is possible. But I do think that he's not asking us for that. He's giving us information and he's asking us to come up with some ideas. So I think we go to our peers and see what they're saying and what they're doing.
One thing, like you said, you go talk to the mayor, Dune, Lester, all see what they're thinking. Large Wood, everybody, I think you're gonna.
What triggered this?
This. Want more money.
Budget season.
Budgets, yeah, probably.
Obviously, they're getting more money, they're getting $4.25 a year more. Was more than most people.
Do we even have a say in it?
What we pay them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So we can tell them, we're only paying you this much, and they say, well, you're only gonna get this amount of policing then? Is that how it works?
I don't think that's how it works.
But for me, there's a lot more numbers not seen. You know, I hear Larchwood, they go to the casino, they're there constantly. I'd like to see how many are done in each town. You know, if we got 50 calls in a month, what does Dune have? You know, are they up to 70? I'd like to see percentages. I'd like to see numbers of that, who actually needs it. I'm just wondering if we even have a say in it. Or if this is just here, it's coming your way. My whole thing too, you know.
I don't think that's.
You can
Every town increasing as well, because then that's gonna be a substantial amount if every other town has to go up 4.25% or 4.5 times what they were paying.
Or didn't Becker, did he present that to all the mayors?
Yes.
Yeah, this letter went to every town.
Every town.
Every town.
Yeah, so what?
It's the same letter that went
everybody's
to
already
every town.
paying. And then you got 5-6 other towns that are having to pay 4.5 times as much too. It's gonna be a huge influx of money. And then does he have a plan for it, or is it just?
It's like other salaries, is that state?
So you're talking $125,000.
So I know they get a certain percentage of how many years they are off the shift, correct? That's how that works. So he doesn't really have control. It's the state that has control over these increases.
I think the county, not the state, right?
So
We
the
can-
sheriff always
we-
knows.
We can control his budget, but we can't control what he pays his employees. He's an elected official. You guys all voted for him. He's an elected official. But yeah, we control his budget. Cause he came in after he got elected, he came in really high over top of what Stewart was. But he was really good when we said, "When are you gonna do that? When are you gonna do that? When are you gonna do that?" He goes, "Oh, okay." So I just think he tries a lot of stuff.
Well, he came from a state budget to a county budget. And that's
true.
that's part of it, right?
Yeah,
Is,
yeah.
you know, the highway patrol runs things very differently than a county. And, you know, you try to implement things and try to change what your, you know, things you thought worked or whatever, but some of that stuff requires more money too, you know, and that's part of it. Yeah, are we gonna go from $25,000 a year to $125,000? No, we're not doing that. That's ridiculous. It's insane. But you could hire your own deputy for that.
I doubt we would get a deputy for that money, because it's very, as I said, like,
Our Lyon County deputies are like
no, I understand,
the
Chad, I just,
highest, like the highest paid or the second highest paid in the whole state.
it's not that. It's saying if the city wants to create a police department and hire a police officer, there's not just a salary associated with that.
Correct.
And it's also very hard to entice someone to come and live here because of what we can pay them versus what they can make elsewhere. It's a state problem. It's not an Inwood problem. It's a state of Iowa problem.
Yeah, I hear you. Like,
So what I would like to do, if that's okay, so we can move forward in the essence of time, is reach out to other mayors in other communities and see what they're doing, what they're hearing, how they're navigating this. We are not the only ones. And then bring that information back. Okay? Okay.
I agree with Jordan. He needs to substantiate some of this and the need per community as well.
He's provided data.
he's
Several
tracking
times.
all of that. We know that.
Yep, he's provided us data, so I'm sure that will be a click, and we can add that. He's pretty data heavy for the most part, so.
He's provided our own or
Yes.
each town's?
He's provided our own, but he goes to every town,
Yeah, I want to see everybody's.
so I'm sure he can do that, is what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, can I move on? Yes, okay. Yep.
Thank
You.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
We're gonna bump back up. Carol, we'll head up to your section so we can move through. Those will be quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, save you from talking as much as possible.
Yeah.
Just fly through that stuff.
so Travis was here all day today. That went well. He came back tonight. Plans to be back tomorrow, so that's going well. So yeah, we're good.
Haven't
on-
scared me yet.
Good on the water bills. We'll work on the paperless billing. And we have some information that we've had for a couple of years on the government orientation. We just need to highlight a little bit.
Okay.
I do want to say real quick, I appreciate the opportunity that you guys have entrusted in me. I'm pretty aggressive. I'm gonna take it seriously and try to do my best. That's all I can say is I'll give it all I got. So I appreciate the opportunity you guys gave me and gals. So.
Awesome. Any grant finder?
No updates.
Okay. Anything you guys have?
Anybody else can attend the grant ceremony?
Mark, are you going?
I think even then I'll come.
Chris and I are going.
I'll be there.
Yay. You'll be in a shirt handing out checks, so.
Jen will be there.
Anyone else have anything for Carol? All right, consent agenda, minutes from October 13, October 22, November 1, the treasurer's report, and a list of bills. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Support?
I'll support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, old business. So design meeting, the funding is still the same, 4.6 million. I'll add on another 10,000 from the community club, but it's gonna be roughly the same. Design committee meeting, that's Monday at 4. Let me put that in my work calendar. It might be on Teams also.
That'll get sent out to everybody. Okay. I don't know if I can get off them.
Yep. CAT grant, I have it almost completed. I'm gonna give it to Jen and Eric to give me feedback on it before I submit it. It's the intent to file, and that's the very first step. Then once that happens, they basically appoint us a person to help us walk through the whole thing. But Jen was so kind to send me essentially everything that Dune did. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can look at all of their documentation and the giant application and all the stuff. So very, very helpful. Thank you, Jen, for walking me through all of that. It's a lot. Any questions on that? I'll let you guys know as soon as it's done. It's almost ready for your eyeballs. So timeline. So that's just going to stay on here as we have now selected Hugendorn Construction, and they're going to be pretty involved with us. I'm just going to leave timeline on there so that if you can't attend or if you don't log in to their software, you will always know where we're at and the public will know where we're at with the progress. If that sounds okay? So that's just what that standing line item means. Any questions on that? Okay.
CAT grant, once you put in for that, how long does it take to get back? Notice so.
So we don't hear back about awards for a while because the intent is what starts a person working with us to actually apply. And then once you apply, it has to go before a committee. And Dune went to Des Moines to do the presentation. So, and that matters. So that will be something that I will ask of people. I will go, of course I will go, but it is a thing and it means a lot when you show up. So we have a little bit yet. Working on it. I'll keep you posted.
Just
Yeah.
curious.
Yep. North End, so we have, did everyone hear me when I went back to the folks about Lot 2? When I went back to them about the pump grinder, shredder things. So I went back to them after our meeting and spoke with Rodrigo and Erica and told them, you know, this is what the city would like to do. Is that okay? And they replied with, well, we talked with someone and they said that if we got the larger commercial one, it could actually serve Lot 2 and 3. So if we did that, could we still purchase it for the 25,000, which is what they proposed? They would get the bigger thing.
They would pay for it.
They would pay for the larger commercial one. They had assumed that they were going to do it for Lot 3.
Yeah.
So when I offered it, they were like, no, we'll pay for it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. But they said, I said, well, we'll do 30 or we'll, the deal that we had worked out. You pay it for $30 or $30, you can have it. You pay $30,000 and you do this thing, or do this, and then we do this deal. And they said, what if, because we talked to these people, could we just get the larger commercial that will work for both those lots and still have it for 25,000? And I said, I don't know, and I can't answer that question because that requires a deliberation of my men.
No brainer.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
We can connect the two. Each connection needs to be separate.
Even if they own both the lots.
Yeah.
And they do whatever they want with them.
I think so. You know, it'd be kind of like two houses, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You want separate connections for each. You let me check that out.
I would assume they'd connect the building as well. If they're building on both lots. We should be
Yeah,
able to merge the two lots.
I mean, especially if it was brought up to them by the supplier saying, yeah, you should just put one in instead of two separate ones. You can run two lines to one pump. I mean, it's gonna have to be on one property or the other, the pump is, but
If it's possible, are you okay with that,
Yeah.
yeah.
everybody? So I can tell them and then, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then I'll work on that.
Do you need like a?
I would love one, yes.
Jordan already made a motion.
Oh, okay. All those in favor, signify by
Wait a
saying
minute, I didn't hear the motion.
Jordan and me.
to do the 25,000. Which we had already discussed, but it's a little different now. Okay, so that means then that I will relay this to them. You can double check on whatever you need to double check on, but I will relay this to them and Micah, because then we have to go through the whole thing like we do with the publications and the readings and the things. Okay, so anything else on that?
We gotta,
When we,
hold on.
what?
We gotta,
When we sell city land, it requires many, many steps. It's very cumbersome. It takes a long time. So the first step is to have a notice of public hearing, to do a resolution and a notice of public hearing. So it takes a couple of council meetings, and then they have to vote, and then they can sign on the dotted line, or I sign. So it's not quick. And a lot of it has to be decided before we actually get to any of those things, because we have to have our attorney draw up paperwork. Yeah, it's very long.
we need to actually
No,
vote on that though.
we have to finish it.
On what?
We actually.
Well, there's a
Oh, yeah, you didn't vote? All those in favor signify by saying aye. I thought you did. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Storage? We got a shelter house now.
Yeah, we have a shelter house. There is storage in the shelter house.
Okay.
But I'm assuming the net is still outside.
I assume so too. I haven't looked at it.
Oh, I just figure you look at it all the time.
I leave home at dark and get home at dark now. I don't know.
Maybe we could talk to Jamie and see if we can get that net storage and.
I can
get
look
up-
tomorrow, see if it's there or not. I'm off, so.
And
If
then-
not, I'm sure it'll be taken up next week. It's supposed to be back.
Maybe we can get that, put that pole in the city shop for now.
Yeah.
Then the storage won't be big enough for that.
Pole. What pole?
You know, the basketball hoop.
Oh.
And the long pole on the other side.
Oh, you wanna take them out?
That pole's removable.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
We did that last winter, didn't we?
Did you have it
With
last
the,
It was just put in, wasn't
I don't think they were up yet.
I don't think you had it last
were they
time.
not up yet?
No.
Oh.
Just a.
I sure didn't take them out last winter.
I don't think so.
I'll have to double check,
Okay.
see if it's removable.
It's removable.
Cause, yeah,
Hey, I'll take it down,
Keep it
yeah,
nice.
keep it a lot nicer,
Yeah.
instead of getting weathered.
I
I'm talking
agree.
just the pole, not
Just
both.
the pole, not both. The basketball hoop will stay, cause that's, I know that's anchored down and bolted
I
down.
hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else for that park, or can I take that off the list? Anything else lingering? for
Yeah,
that?
we can take it off the list.
We can take it off the list?
Thank you.
Yay!
Put it back on someday.
When you wanna put swings and stuff?
I know, I thought we took it off last time.
Well, I didn't have storage on there. You told me that we had to have the shelter up, so this is the only way that I know what happens. Okay, Chamber of Commerce, did you get back from Paul? Did you hear back from him today, Friday? Okay, what's the latest?
He really doesn't recommend, the chamber or anything similar because that is a nonprofit.
Okay.
And if the gentleman want to make a profit, they need to just form their own LLC. They could have a little agreement with the city. TIF would work well to pay back some of their development costs.
Okay, so then don't make them a chamber, but they are an LLC.
On their own. Involved with the city.
So I don't understand that because when I talked to Lester and Larchwood, theirs are their economic development groups. It's not an.
That's right, but the money funnels in and they use it for the next project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what we would do.
They're the ones that purchase the property.
Who is?
They're economic development groups.
Yes.
Yeah, jump in here.
Oh, essentially, yeah, that's, the economic development groups purchase the land, and then we sell the land, pay for the, whatever they're doing, plotting, letting.
As a nonprofit.
Yeah, they're all 501(c)(3)s, yeah.
So our chamber can work with their LLC. We just don't want them to be part of our chamber. Because that would go against the nonprofit part.
Say that again.
We can have our chamber work with them as an LLC,
What would
that
they
has two
work-
separate entities.
What would they work with them on?
Developing the infrastructure and getting the other lots sold and managing that part of it.
No.
So,
No.
is this, are the people you're talking about, people that gonna buy the land?
They
or
bought
own the
it.
land?
Bought it.
So they own the land?
Yes.
Yeah, so they can either just be developers on their own, right? And say, hey, we're gonna develop this, we're gonna make a subdivision. They record their plat, they do all the things, they sell the lots, they get the money. The city can say, okay, you're gonna build houses, we'll do a developer agreement with you. We'll do a TIF on that and we will rebate, maybe it's a rebate, maybe it's a TIF, whatever, however you wanna work it, to give them back taxes to help, give them back some of their development costs, essentially. Is what you could do in that sense. Because of the change, I mean, I guess they can work with whoever they want, but there'd be no purpose for them to work with the chamber. I mean, unless the chamber or the development group or whoever's gonna purchase it from them, and then, then they're done too. They could certainly do it their own, like Carol said, make an LLC, and then they have their, whatever they wanna call it,
Yeah.
inwards, land, whatever.
So like the TIF thing, think about it like it was with Oak Street.
Yeah.
Oak Street had Oak Street. They developed it. There was a TIF agreement. We rebated the TIF money back to them. That's what this option is, right? It's just a TIF rebate, okay? What Lester and Lurch should do is not the same thing. Okay, that is
Or
not,
Rock Rapids.
it's not the same.
Or George.
It's an economic development group that is exactly like our chamber, where,
Yeah.
yes, they own the land, they sell the lots, they get the money from the sales, they use the money from the sales, and then they put it back into property development. Okay? So two separate things. Does that make sense?
And even on those new subdivisions that Lester, Marchwood are doing, the city can still do TIF agreement. You can still do it in a rural area, on a residential area, if you wanted to. And that would help you pay for street costs maybe, or whatever it might be that you were, what they're doing there. I don't know if that any of them do currently, Rock Rapids might in some places, but
So it's not necessary for the south side, because they already have the land. If the chamber wanted to buy the land, they could do that. I don't know why, but they could. If they wanted to. You know what I mean? But it's not necessary. But if we want other land, the city wants other land, we can build our relationship with our chamber and have our chamber buy land and sell land and put the buying of, the selling of the land as they continue to sell the land to put it back into development, just like over in Rick and Mortar. It's exactly the same. Does that make sense? How I'm explaining it?
Yeah, does, but then how does the chamber become funded? We have to fund the chamber. We give them a budget.
Chamber has their own money. We do not give them any money. They are their own.
Where does that come from?
From the sale of the land, currently in their hot little hands.
And what's their current
No idea.
balance?
Do you know?
When the property is sold, the chamber gives the money back to the city. We paid the cost of the development up front. We had a GO bond at that time. Those funds helped make the payments on the GO bond.
I think that's what Brentwood does too. The city purchased it to begin with. And then development group, when the lot's sold, right, development paid the city to pay them back. And then once they hit that loan and that's paid, then the money stayed with the development group.
That's what you're asking, Mark. Where do they get their money
Yeah.
from?
So
Where are they
Larchwood,
funded from?
Larchwood Economic Development Group took out a loan that the city co-signed on.
Right.
That is what they did. And they bought a bunch of estate property to develop. Okay?
So yeah, what we have over there is investors essentially who just really wanted to see something happen there. Like, enough to throw money at it. And they need to know how the city is going to work with them to help it get it something accomplished over there. So, yeah, that's part of what needs to get ironed out about that, is to figure out, okay, so, yeah, they stuck their necks out and they're buying this land, right? So how's that, because of the time crunch that was on that. So how's that work going forward? Should the economic development group or chamber of commerce or whatever essentially purchase that land from them and develop it and sell sections of it back to them? Or should they develop it, but the city is going to make sure to help fund the, water, sewer, all that to it, and help with maybe streets? How does all that stuff work out on paper and in reality, right? That's what we need to get sorted out. And that's what we desperately need a meeting with them about, like, as soon as possible. So that they know and we know and we can figure that out.
Is the land in the city limits?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so it's currently, unincorporated area, essentially.
Yep. Just chunk of
So you have
farm
to
now.
annex it if you
Yep.
wanted to. I mean, that's a process in itself, but you probably don't through the code.
I think if the city could have bought it, we would have bought it already. So the only option would be to buy
So the city,
parcels of it.
so every person that I spoke to said the city should not buy land. The city should not buy land. The city should have a chamber or an economic development that is buying the land.
It's to save you
Yeah.
from having a
Yes.
public hearing,
Right.
going to that,
Yes.
talking to your attorney, first doing,
Yes.
it cuts out all the, because then they can do what they need to do.
Yes.
Mhm.
They can have their meeting and determine, yes, we'll do that, no, we won't do that. And it doesn't involve formal.
So I know,
Yeah. it
like-
doesn't.
I know that two of the three investors aren't in it to make money, as long as they eventually get their money back out of what they put in. One of them, I'm not sure if he's trying to make profit or what, but I know two of them just want to see it happen and would like to have the opportunity to build out their businesses.
Yeah.
So the chamber's question to me was, I don't know, they said, I don't know what's in the bylaws, I don't know if we can actually purchase and sell anything outside of the Venn Mortar Edition. Did you check with Paul on that?
There's nothing in there about just the memory.
Okay, so they do have that capacity. Okay. So, idea. If that's something that we want to pursue, we have a conversation with the investors. We have a conversation with the chamber. We see if the chamber wants to buy the land, take out a loan, do the things. We can mimic what Larchwood did, right? Co-sign is the city of Inwood, whatever, right? And then it's out of the investors' hands. They don't have to fret about it. They put a Band-Aid on it because we were, as Mark said, in a time crunch. They did us a favor. But the chamber then is doing what the chamber is meant to do, which is sell and develop in town.
Do you have just the chamber, or do you have an economic group?
It's just a
It's all,
chamber.
they just do it all.
It's just a chamber.
Does the chamber have to get back to 8 to be legit?
They have bylaws that they should, yes.
Just about reading through some of that stuff you sent.
So does the chamber have interest in this to reboot back to 8 and be a part of something new, or what are your feelings on that, Carol?
Well, I do, but I don't see the chamber having a need to get involved with this Southside development at all. Unless they wanted to purchase the land. But do we want to purchase the land at this point?
Well, that's part of what we need to figure out, right? But if we, a huge part of that is we have to have an economic development group or a chamber that is willing and able to do that. If we are gonna even entertain that, right? Like, if we're gonna do it, we need to do it.
My conversation with the chamber, they were on the fence.
Okay.
So they wanted some time to think about it. And that was on Thursday at 8 p.m. So if it's not the south side, it will be the north side or the east side or the west side, right? Because Inwood is going to continue to grow and we will need to acquire more land. So push comes to shove, we need to work with our chamber, right? In some way, whether that is to, right? That needs to happen. So, and we need to have a conversation with the South Side folks. Because it sounds like right now our only option is a TIF agreement at this juncture.
If they're going to develop it themselves, yes.
Right?
I mean, because essentially, they're the owners.
Yep.
They can do whatever they wish to do with
Yep.
it.
They take possession like the first or second week of December.
And yeah, that's up to them to determine what they want to do.
So, task 1, Rebecca, is to follow up with the chamber. Task 2, Rebecca, is to set up a meeting with the Southside developers. Does that sound okay? Anyone have any comments or questions or other tasks? Okay. I will let you guys know on both. I'll circle back around. They will likely both happen quickly. Okay. Anything else on that side? Anything else that I missed? Nothing. Okay. Nuisance abatement, follow-up on letters. We had, who attended town hall with me?
I did.
People want to know what we're doing after those nuisance abatement letters went out and how we are holding people accountable. I could not answer that question. Rick could not answer that question. So we need to be able to answer that question. So how are we holding people accountable?
Well, the second letter goes out, or went out, I'm not sure. No, some have improved, and some have not.
And who's sending those letters, Carol?
It comes from our planning commission.
And they were the ones that kind of went around and kind of surveyed stuff, right?
What's
We did it that way to get a third-party view.
Yeah.
They're on what, Sheldon, correct? Spencer.
So I have 2 questions. When is the deadline after the second letter to have it taken care of? Like our drop dead date. I need the drop dead date for correction, for consequences. And, I lost my second question. Crap.
Who follows up on it?
Oh, who decides that enough improvement has been made? Because you said that improvement has been made on some. Who would these gentlemen decide? Okay.
After the second letter deadline, then it would be up to
Us.
Us.
to push forward, get an attorney involved, whatever you want to do.
Do you guys like photos or like how are you telling or
There
deciding
were
that?
photos.
There were.
That went with the letters, including all of the violating ordinances and what needed to be taken care of. And for everyone's information from the town hall, some people felt very strongly about certain properties that I know were not included in those letters. They had concerns about those certain properties. They are not, I understand that they do not look how you want them to look, but they are not a violation of an ordinance. Okay? So that needs to be the message that we deliver to people around town. I'm happy to have a conversation with someone whose property we have a concern or question about. Carol does that when we have concerns. But that's not a violation of an ordinance. Our ordinance is very clear. Okay? So I had to tell people that it's not okay sometimes to say things like that.
Were those letters sent to residents and businesses?
Yes, everyone. Any comments or questions on that? So we'll get the drop dead date and then we can determine our next step. Thank you. This is just for Thursday, the award ceremony. Mark and I will be there. If anyone else wants to go, please let Carol know. It's a really great event. Mark, I handed over the apparel to Mark because I can't manage it apparently. So Mark's taking it. Yay, Mark. Thanks.
And I think I sent an email out again, so just to kind of
put it back into our heads, they're coming. If you guys wanna send your sizes, things like that, if we wanna talk about, you had mentioned doing like a quarter zipper cover up or something like that also, aside from just the polo, you can do something like that too. So I'll have to reach back out to where you were getting your information from and kind of touch base with them as well. I have not had a chance to do that yet, so.
They're pretty quick on email. Yeah.
But we won't have anything by Thursday night.
That's okay.
What time is that, Thursday night?
Thursday at 6, awards at 7. I'm letting Mark take it, but I do feel like having some sort of attire would be worthwhile. It's not costly, it's like $35 or $40. And it professionally helps a lot. Okay, north and south side tip update. I don't know how many emails I sent you, I'm so sorry. I sent you a lot of emails. And I think I sent it out to you guys, maybe, I don't know, about what we can do for the pumper grinder stuff. That was your question. If we can use it for that. And yes, it depends on, yeah.
I think your best bet would just run by John Daniels if that's something you really want to do. And he'll probably ask you a couple questions and then he'll say, here's what I recommend.
Yeah.
Because it just depends. I don't know when it gets into the sanitation part of stuff. I don't want to tell you something that I am incorrect on.
Yeah. So that's an easy to him. And then south side would be a tip agreement with that group, development group, which we can discuss after we talk with them. Do you have any more follow-up questions other than me emailing John? Okay. All right. The tree is on hold. Sidewalk repair is looking, we're gonna do that in January. We'll have some workshops on that. Chad's sad, he's not gonna be part of it. Code review. Chad and I and Carol are gonna have some fun in a couple of weeks. Go over his stuff so that the code review will be finished. Yeah. He's almost ready. Done, are you done with harvest about yet? Or slowing down a little bit?
Yeah, slow
Okay.
down. We'll be able to get something.
Okay. So we'll just do an email chain, Carol, and find a, like,
Works.
yep. Electric scooter, no update. The mayors, they couldn't decide on the age, so that's still in deliberation. It's winter, so it's probably fine for a little bit. Land discussion.
Yeah, I just wanted us to actually talk about that a little bit. I know it's kind of late now, but, we have opportunity to, obviously the south side, and we can go west. What do we want to do? What do we want Inwood to look like in the future? Where do we want to put, over there's pretty good chance it's going to be kind of a commercial type businesses and whatnot. What do we want to do going forward for residential? And I know that we have, 6 lots yet to sell there, and there's a few houses for sale in town, and there's a fourplex going up, so we're not like in a crunch, right, to create space for housing. But what do we want to look at in the future? Just looking at, and we've talked about it, the drainage and whatnot over on by that area. It's a lot of low stuff that's not going to work well to build houses in a chunk of that. So one of the ideas that I was tossing around, thought I'd just run it past you guys, is what if the city sold that piece and bought something else, or did a land trade? It works fine for crops, but the amount of infrastructure that we're gonna have to put in there for drainage and the waste of land that's not gonna be usable for housing is, we're talking a lot of work, right? So what if we sold that and bought a section to the west. Or some other place. Like, I just want us to look at that. Like, I know a couple of years ago, we had like this strategic planning meeting that I felt like didn't go anywhere. And really, we need to have these conversations about what the future looks like.
How much land do we have there?
It's 13 acres, just a little over, according to Beacon.
I had a fruitful conversation on Saturday. You guys were moving with someone, a landowner, a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Would be very interested.
In this type of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Has some nice spots out west.
So how do we proceed? I think it's a great conversation. I think it's something that we have to definitely look at and consider. So, and yeah, we all know that that land is not very coherent to development.
All the way around it.
So if we've got an opportunity, I think we need to look.
Who owns the ground north of the church?
North, that's Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
Okay. So
He's all the way up there now.
So
Pete surrounds it already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely surrounded.
I guess in my opinion, before we sell anything over there, I'd still like to see, not abandoning what we've already looked into, but getting something done with all that water coming off those fields.
That's a good point.
Not to say we can't sell, but I'd like to get some kind of, to be honest, some kind of water retention right east of the church, but that all coincides with everything above too, though. Not saying we can't get rid of, 10 acres yet, but I'd still like to see a strip put in back in a waterway that should have never been taken out. Just to slow it down even for the north end additions for those people.
Right.
You want me to have Gary come to a meeting? Talk about it?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Or a
Well, he
meeting?
kind of gave us already a topical view of what's up there. I just don't know who owns the land like behind Van Loan. They'd be willing to let us buy some through there, a strip, just to take care of that watershed. For me, talk to me to those people first. Because if we could do that, let's see a street get put through Douglas. Connect the town.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So see our church wants to buy that little lot right behind them, got no problem with that. They could put in, you could have another lot or two there, maybe that's just a lot, I'm not sure. But get that watershed away from this, all those residents, away from the city, blowing man covers off. I mean, it's a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking that little rectangle piece, that's tied into that piece that Dale Cowles farms, right?
Is that deal right behind?
I'm thinking, yeah, because right behind Van Ginkels.
Yep.
And, their truck shed and everything, Dale Cowles farms that. And I'm wondering if that ain't a little sliver. Yeah, some lady owns it, I know. But I can't remember her name or nothing. But I know Dale rents that.
Right, okay. I guess before we do anything, in my
Right, yeah.
I'd like to see
Right,
something.
that's right. Yeah, I get that.
So then you'd route the water all the way on the east side behind or whatever's developed out there so far and take it way out north of town. Yeah.
It all runs that way eventually, I just like to get it off the street.
Yeah, get it out of the neighborhoods and
Behind.
keep it out there, yeah.
Gary drew that already?
Yeah, he gave us a map of that already.
Yeah, you did, with elevations and whatnot.
Because he wanted to put a retention pond like
Oh,
behind Dan, and I'm like, no, we're not putting any more water behind these people's houses.
All right.
We have to.
So I gotta talk to the Sioux City lady. Is that her name and number?
So do you know who owns that? There's some lady, I don't know.
Do some reconnaissance and figure it out.
Piece you're talking about, because it's on the piece I should say. I don't know, piece,
So basically Douglas, when the Douglas comes down and Douglas ends, there's gonna be a piece right in there and then behind.
So, here's your town.
Oh, well, on here.
Joyce Wyman from Sioux City.
Like that.
There were two
It's gonna
sisters.
be Douglas
that
Street
owned
right
it.
here, this whole strip here,
Is that
and then whoever owns that behind
Oh, you
that.
touched that.
Touch that.
Like that. I like that's
Should be the
See if I
same.
can figure out a way to contact her. And you want how much land?
Fellowship Village.
How much land?
Just not to build a berm to.
Yeah, but he's also want to run that street.
And that's where we might have to talk to Gary or have him get us, I saw the plot too, where he did that. So, yeah.
Do you know how much land you want?
No, to me, I was talking to Marv, we don't know, if, starting above, it wouldn't take much, that's just getting the watershed. But to make it go, you'd have to eventually gradually make it wider or either deeper as you come up.
I know, but if I call somebody, I need to have like some idea.
I'd have no clue.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
somebody way above my pay grade. I
I
have-
run through Pete's too, though, right?
It eventually, basically what I would like to do is right behind like Dan and mine, shoot it off there, right behind Rick, and then run it into kind of where it already goes now.
But that'd be
He said Gary's
What's ours?
already researched it
or
for us.
Pete owns, I guess, right behind me, Pete would have that part,
Yeah, in the little corner.
but if we could,
So, I mean,
Corner
still,
right there, we have to.
some type of permission or whatever,
Yes.
Pete would be willing to work with us.
anything else? Starting with Joyce.
Yeah.
Because you said you also would, you want that little triangle piece where you can finish off Douglas Street, make it one solid road.
yeah, it's just a little, to me, it looks like one lot through there, you could maybe put another house in there and just get that through, just so it's,
Are you talking about Fellowship Village?
yeah,
South of that. That's not owned by Joyce. That's
that's Fellowship Village, I just,
Yeah.
one peek, I didn't realize
not
that.
all of it.
Oh,
On there, the square or rectangle,
Doesn't Gerald's word on something?
oh, okay.
I think, yeah, that whole piece right there, Fellowship Village owns. Then, yeah, I don't know if Jeff Ward owns any of that would connect where the street needs to go, but. Yeah, it would be really good to connect that. Yeah, it just leads into more conversation. Sorry, I just want us to think about this for the future. Like, what does this look like in 20 years, you know?
No, I'm definitely not against that, because I think it's flatter, easier to develop, I think the whole sewer sanitary, there you got more lift stations, you got more problems again. Or, yeah, it is flatter, I think would be easier.
Okay, I'll start there. I'll keep you posted. Anything else on land? Town hall, when do you want the next one? I'm asking because I want you to attend.
I came after the book,
I know you did. Thank you.
I tried.
It's not bad, is it?
What's your response been lately, like for community
Attendees?
members, attendees?
Bigger and bigger every time?
About the same.
Started out with like
Dozen or
3.
so, yeah.
It's much bigger than that.
There's probably 15.
Mhm.
Probably.
Mhm. And I get questions about when I'm having the next one, so that's why I'm asking when the next one is going to be, because they look forward to it, and I will have it by myself if no one can attend, but I was thinking, just throwing a date out there, the 22nd in the morning. It's a Saturday. I know you have to work.
I work.
Anyone else not busy?
November 25th?
Yeah. It's an hour long,
Time you start, what time you start?
and I can start anytime you want.
6.
At night?
I mean,
I can make that then.
I've had to do it at like 3 in the afternoon after I got off work, so. try to do it once a month.
What time is work?
I've had it at 10, I've had it at 11, had it at 2. So,
6 AM.
I mean, you'd probably get some people who would still come. Have coffee.
Coffee drinkers.
Yeah,
Everybody there probably would be there.
yeah,
That shows up.
yeah.
Not true. Yeah.
Preference on time on that day?
You can probably make it if earlier is better though.
Okay, you want like 8, 8:30?
Yes.
Okay, which one?
It don't matter that, I mean, it's not that. Take it easy.
8 AM.
9 o'clock?
Oh, Mark wants 9? Is that too late
You can
for
do
you,
it.
Rick?
You can do 8:30.
8:30? Okay. 8:30 a.m. We'll have coffee. Come if you can, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of nice to hear from people. They ask a lot of questions. You get to talk about all the good stuff that we're doing. So, and actually like tell them the right things, the true things that we're doing. So it's very helpful, I think. Anything else on that? Board committee updates. So I apologize for slacking on that last month. I realized that I didn't get any. Cub Scouts are doing a food drive right now, and John McKinney said that they also have something else happening. It's for, just want to tell you so I don't tell you the wrong thing. Food drive November 1st through 25th, non-perishable food items. I did share it on Facebook, being collected at Oak Street Station. All the donations go to Manna Market Food Pantry, which is awesome with the SNAP benefits being limited over the last little bit. And then they also just finished up their popcorn fundraiser. And then the kids clubs, I reached out to them and they're wondering if we have any location suggestions for their kids club this summer. So I said I would give it to you all since the community center will not be here. Just to think about. Don't have to have an answer, but they welcome any suggestions that we might have. Anything else?
I'm sure Jamie would love to have in the shop.
In the shop, yeah.
What can go wrong?
Oh, yeah.
We better up our insurance.
Yeah.
Make him tool time Taylor.
Performance, anything else you guys have? I'm hopefully Travis and I are gonna work together on doing some sort of something that's more automated and easier to get updates coming through that people can populate and have a good report. So hopefully that will be on the horizon. Try not to overwhelm him. It's his first day. You all know how overwhelming I am. Self-evals, I have one. Do you have yours? Okay. Can you give that to me this week potentially? Okay. Then council, you guys have the same. I'll resend it so it's at the top of your inbox. So you don't have to go hunting because I send you a lot of emails. But the performance evaluations with the scales, and you rate, and then we combine everything, and that's how we objectively determine wage increases and all the things. Yeah, does that ring a bell? Okay. So I'll get that out to you this week so you have time to fill those out and then get them back to me to compile for wage review in December. HubWorks. Looks like we have a contract. I thought we didn't want to do this.
Yeah, I thought we talked about this.
Yeah, we did last month, didn't
I don't know, it looks like, maybe we have to do it. I would go 1 year.
Why do we have to do
Yeah,
it?
what do we have to do?
Because Jamie's not comfortable? Because I thought that we were gonna talk with Scott, because Scott has done, did you talk to Scott? And did Scott say he would be comfortable handling it and teaching Jamie the ropes?
Jamie would like to watch them 1 year.
What's the difference between them and Scott? Other than $4,738.45. I will, okay, so I understand that Jamie has hesitation because this is all that Jamie has known because this is what Jordan instituted. I get that. But also Scott has done it for a long time on his own. And I would rather pay Scott, if Scott is willing to do it, than to pay $5,000 for them to come out.
Agree.
So that's 47, that says per inspection, is that once a year?
Let's see.
It says annually, yep.
Insurance reasons, do we have to have an annual inspection?
No. We just do it as a good practice.
Yeah, I'm not saying, I fully agree with that, but
Jamie proposes?
No. This is something we started when Jordan Palmer was working with the city. And at that time, we did the 3 years, and our 3 years is up. And that's the reason for the new agreement.
didn't they also up it like $3,000 or something?
They did, it was
Yeah, it was,
1,600 a year.
Okay. I thought there
Okay,
was-
that's just to get them here.
Yeah.
If they do any
Check with Jamie and find out.
work, then it's additional.
Like
But if we want
clarify
to
a little
cancel
better.
this contract, we have to do it by the end of this week, I believe.
I'll give Jamie on the phone and ask her.
Whatever, but I mean, what do we lose if we cancel the contract? Like, we can still call them if we need help, right? It's their business.
I'm new here, so I don't want to overstep, but are there any other companies other than Iowa Pump that you could consult with too?
Great question.
A lot of people who do pumps.
I don't know that. And I don't remember from 3 years ago if we checked with any others.
I know discussing this, I thought Scott would bring it to Sioux Falls to work on pumps. There's a certain company in Sioux Falls.
He did what he could
Yeah.
in-house, and then if he couldn't, he brought it.
So these people, Iowa Pump, where they come from, like, what?
Oh,
Omaha, yeah.
Also, they're paying for their travel too.
Right.
So what's gonna happen if we don't renew the contract and we decide 2 weeks later? We wanna do a contract,
Right up it.
probably up it, you know.
You don't know.
I mean, can they get hired? It's pretty spendy, 15,000 for 3 years just for one inspection and not really doing any work.
Yeah, if they have to rebuild anything, that's on top of that.
Yeah.
Right, you know, I mean, it's, so, I mean, what's a
This is just
service
a
call
retainer
cost?
fee.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
If you call them out, what's it cost, a service call? $1,000 to get them here, and then
Yeah.
they pull it up and do the, work on it.
We don't have to pay a service fee for our attorney or our engineer. It's insane to me.
What kind of expense did Scott have, like if he couldn't do something that he brought it up to Sioux Falls, like what? Was there ever anything that he couldn't do or they couldn't do?
Well, I think it's just if the motor went bad and they had to get respawned, stuff like that, propeller wise and stuff, I think. I would guess
He did a lot.
He fixed himself and stuff,
It's a pump, how hard it would be, I rebuilt so many pumps. It's probably really special, I know, but.
I am not in favor of this, but I will entertain a motion, if you would, like to pursue the contract.
I guess we should talk to Jamie about what he's thinking about it all, but.
We can have a conversation
this looks
tomorrow with him.
bananas
If
to
we gotta
me.
do it, we gotta do it by the end of the week.
Yeah, I'll call him tomorrow.
I'm off too, so.
Okay.
You wanna call him? Yeah, either way.
And you
No
can have
problem.
you can have an honest conversation with Scott, because I did. And just feel that out too, like, we would obviously compensate you if we needed to help. So, let us know.
Well, I know Jimmy pulled the valves and stuff, but is that any much different confined space wise? Is that what he was worried about, or
Look like that.
the valves up by the sewer? Up by the,
At the lagoon.
on the lagoons, yeah. So now he showed me they were working on one to try to free it open, they couldn't get it, so they had to replace it. So I know he's done that kind of stuff. But I could talk to him, but
Let
Yeah,
us
that
know.
would be a good idea.
You let us know.
And they always work on it together. You never go down and by yourself.
no, it's at the two people, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Troy.
Okay, so that's tabled for now.
What knows that?
Stay tuned.
And if they need an air monitor, well, we got an air monitor, don't we?
Yeah, we have a forecast.
The blower.
We replace it every couple of years. Thank you.
Just remember, when you send the FYI, it's FYI.
Usually lasts a little longer, doesn't it?
It's supposed to be calibrated annually. So as
Yeah,
long
we
as
got-
they're, as long as they're, I think they usually bring the elevator calibrated, right? Usually 700 or similar or something.
Yeah, I don't know, because
Wasn't
we
it
got
the
all
fire
new ones.
department?
We got all new ones, so I don't know. That, or maybe we got an old machine that, oh, we could get from them. Because you gotta use a certain gas and you gotta do your bump test and all your.
I know we have them now, that we have everything, the forecast and all the calibration equipment now.
Oh, it is, yeah.
All right,
Here's the long ones, not skinny.
keep, you two talked, you figured out. Building permit,
So we used to have the MSA ones.
Braden Reisman, is that how you say it? I don't know. Reisman, okay. Yard shed. And feet. On the property line.
He stays with all his numbers,
Yeah.
should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. The only thing I had that I wrote down was fireworks donation.
Yeah.
Do you wanna donate to that, contribute?
What was last year's?
Do you know what last year's contribution was?
Because then we bump it up.
We did bump it up, but I don't remember what we donated. Can you look and see?
I thought it was 2,500.
I thought it was that, we bumped it up to 5.
I thought we bumped it up to 5 too, Chad, but I don't.
Oh, okay, well then,
I'm not sure, that's why I was curious, but
I don't know either.
I thought it was.
well then we should have a $10,000 show, maybe that's what it was. Community club
I
gets
thought it was
5,
12 or
we get 5.
15 even. Wasn't that
I
much?
don't think it's like that.
No, it wasn't that much.
I'd rather spend $5,000 on fireworks than I would on works. I know that. Just put it out there. Way more fun.
While she looks that up, Mark, do you have anything to add?
Do not.
Shannon, do you?
No.
Jordan, do you?
No.
Chad?
My only thing is with the chamber, I mean, if we're gonna try and do some of this land stuff and go to the chamber, I mean, to have it. I mean, obviously their bylaws say they need 8 and stuff, I mean, they need to, does it need to function properly, you know? And how do we get, obviously, we're gonna need some people and stuff, like to get back on that, so it's a legit committee,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Well, it'll take me a little bit.
But meet with them and
Mm-hmm.
see if, make some conversations and try and, because honestly, what you sent out, the president is still Dustin Scout, unless there's other paperwork out there that, we're not made aware of, you know. But, yeah. I mean, it's not right to just have these 3 people making these decisions. But there could be more to help them and stuff like that.
I'll start with some more conversations. Do you have anything more, Rick?
Nope.
What did we do last year?
We didn't.
We didn't? At all?
No, I thought our discussion was after the 4th. When we were talking about it earlier, I thought,
We didn't done that? I swear that we did.
Yeah, because I thought I talked to Devin that night, and they asked us if we were gonna do the same, and it was 5,000 for the community club. And I know it was 2,500, he goes, oh, then we'll have the same show again. I called Devin again.
So, I know the
they
community
usually
club.
plan a year ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why they're,
but we didn't contribute any money for the fireworks.
Chris should have record if he put
Yeah.
it positive.
He just did taxes this weekend, I'll ask him.
I'm just curious if we still need to pay them.
Okay,
Do you remember when the discussion was?
I don't, I remember we talked about it, and they asked if we, bump it because of the prices are increasing.
I remember that whole
And
conversation.
try to at least give the same show, if not, if we
Was it
could,
Kenny?
step it up just a notch and have just a little bit better,
Yeah,
yeah, I think show. I think that they had brought here, Kenny had brought it to us and said that the community club was the ones who always did
Yeah.
that,
yep,
and they're wondering if we would kick in.
yep,
and I thought we did.
yeah. Cause it gets more and more expensive and, yeah,
See, and that's why.
and it's a revenue bringer for the community.
Right.
Well, I remember that whole conversation.
That's why I got approached last month about it, to find out if we were gonna kick in again, so there's all the pre-order and get your
Yeah.
discounts and all that stuff to try and get the best show we can for the money we have.
Oh, look. We'll figure it out, Chad. Anything else? Jen, did you have anything else?
I just have that on the 17th of November, so it's a Monday. We'll be having a presentation in June. The executive director for Homes for Iowa, Dave Miller, who used to be the economic director for Rock Valley, is now their director here. It's a housing opportunity for towns, development groups, on a way to bring in new homes. It's a program they run that is in Newton, Iowa. Incarcerated individuals that build the homes or stick-built homes, and they're transferred here. So if you wish to come, it's at 7:00 on Monday at the Dune Community Building in their new meeting room. So, yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else, Travis or Laurel? Thrilling, isn't it?
It's kind of exciting, really.
Next meeting, December 8th, 6:30. Unless I pull something together in the next week or so for the chamber and the south side. Like, oh, are you working? Did you find it?
No.
No.
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
All right, go. Can I get a support?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. You should have done this. Thank you.
Was it ever on here, or we just talked about it?
Okay, I'm not seeing it.